6 from Flagler College.
Welcome into the broadcast booth. Tim Hanna, Sedric Granger here for a little bit more Copperheads action today. Had the game yesterday rained out against the Xenia Scouts, so that game will be made up, I believe, one game on the 30th, and then when they come back here on the June 3rd, I believe.
Yeah, each day is going to have at least a pair of games going on. So when we go to play Xenia on the road, we'll play 2 games against Xenia, and then when we go to play them, or when they come here to play us on the 8th, we'll play 2 games as well. It'll be the finishing of the first game where we only got through to the 5th inning, and then we'll play a full 9-inning game. So usually 14 innings on each of those days.
Copperheads had the night off last night as a result of the rain, but played really well in Richmond. Sedric, what kind of things can they take over from that game in Richmond that'll translate to wins here against Grand Lake?
Well, it's all about that starting pitching, Tim. As starting pitching, it was really great from Sam Walds. He gave up only 3 runs the entire game. He had a rough start with giving up that home run to Austin Deering, which is one of the best players. He's going to be an all-star this year. And also what I really liked was the fact that the bats, they decided to just stay in the game. They had to go against a really tough pitcher in Matt Dickey, and they were able to keep fighting, force it into the bullpen. And then once they got to the bullpen, they were able to find a little bit of success. But although they did find some success, they still fell short in that 4-3 loss. The Jazz are a team that they're red hot right now. They just defeated the Mariners 18-5, and the Copperheads only lost to them 4-3. So it's a good opportunity for the Copperheads to get back. But what it comes down to, Tim, is just making sure that the pitching starting is really good and that also the bats can have that more opportune hitting. We've had some hits, but we just couldn't finish at certain times. And we think about it, we were just one batter away from potentially winning that game.
Copperheads making a couple switches both offensively and defensively today, getting a couple guys in, trying to gain that offensive advantage against the Grand Lake Mariners. We'll see Josh Steidel today over at first, something we haven't seen all year, as well as a couple other shifts out on the field. What's your biggest takeaway from the defensive switches today?
Well, one interesting thing is we do have a new pitcher in Daniel Walter. He just came out of a community college in Maryland, and this is his first game getting a start at the mound. So I'm interested to see how long he can go and if he can go and have a quality start. I'm talking 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 innings. That could be a potential key. And then in the defense, seeing Josh Steidel get onto the defensive field even when he's not playing catcher is so critical for the Copperheads to have. He's been one of our best players all year long. So to have Josh Steidel out there means the world for not only just leadership, but just to be able to have somebody you can always depend upon. It's definitely going to be a new position for him as he's only played catcher so far this year, but I'm interested to see how he does at first base. And at this point, you're on a 6-game losing streak. It's a good opportunity to try some different things out, see if something can break the losing skid.
Absolutely, and get out of the losing streak. They will try to do. First pitch is on its way from Bob Wren Stadium when we return. Back here at Bob Wren Stadium, Daniel Walter is going to get things started for the Copperheads. Working against
Elliot Cruson.
Elliot Cruson. Thank you, Sedric.
Yep, no problem.
Still trying to get everything organized here. First pitch in there for a strike. Walters deals. Cruson sends that one down the right field line. So 0-2 rather. Crowd starting to trickle in here at Bob Wren. It's Rotary night tonight, so quite a few people here. Wanting to kick the deal. Sent down the right field line again. So we'll do it again here at 0-2. Cruson staying alive here.
Yep, Elliot Cruson is one of the newer players on the Mariners. You see a couple of new guys added to the lineup. He's out of Dartmouth College, so he is one of those Ivy Leaguers, and he's only played in 2 games so far this whole year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as he's drop third strike situation.
Throw down to Steidel at first, so as of now, not having any issues adjusting to first base. Pretty routine throw there from Sebastian Silva. Defensively today for the Copperheads, as we mentioned, Steidel will be at first, Shepard at second, Nadolny at third, Maverick Stallings staying in that lineup at shortstop. Bam Thomas, Kyle Ratliff, Clayton Hodges is the outfield. Sebastian Silva behind the dish today, catching Daniel Walters. 1 out, Walters deals, and fouled back by Adam Ebling. Ebling from Tulane, St. Louis, Missouri. 0-1 to get things started for him.
So far, so good from Daniel Walter. Already picked up a strikeout on the first at-bat, and we'll see how he does here.
Chopper to Nadolny, bare hands it. Over to Steidel at first to make the play. What a play by Mason Nadolny to get the out on the difficult ground ball.
Yeah, Tim, that was a thing of beauty. In those situations, that could be a time where you might be able to fumble the ball because it's kind of on your offhand. He did a great job showing the concentration, working with his bare hand to be able to make the throw to Steidel. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the defense so far, Tim.
Something that maybe in these last couple games, especially during this losing streak, Copperheads have had trouble with. First pitch to Donnie Goods is in there for a strike. Walter making quick work of it today. Already 2 quick outs. The 0-1 just on that outside part of the plate. Be 1-1 for Daniel Walter. Working against Danny Goods, Adrian College from Wapakoneta, Ohio, junior outfielder. The 1-1 on that outside part of the plate once again, make it 2-1.
You have a lefty matchup right here between a lefty pitcher and a lefty batter. Daniel Walter out of Smithburg, Maryland, Tyler Junior College, getting his first start again, like we said in the pregame. He's a sophomore, 6'1". And we're glad to have him on the team, adding some more depth to a pitching staff that needs it.
Pitching staff in desperate need of starters that can establish themselves as a 5, 6, 7 inning guy night in and night out. We've seen it with Sam Maudsley. We've seen it a little bit with Colin Ryan in his last start. As a 1-2 pitch is in there for a strike. And, yeah, something that this team has shown they can keep themselves in ball games if they can have a starter that really establishes that solid start. 2-2 pitch, fouled back into the fence. So we'll do it again here at 2-2, 2 outs. Bottom or top of the first inning.
Mariners coming to this game at 8-6, and if the season were to end today, they would have a playoff spot as they are sitting in second, right ahead of the Settlers at 7-6.
Mariners really been on a roll since our last trip up there. 2-2 pitch, chop to Steidel at first, gloves it, and steps on first. So they go 1-2-3 here in the top of the first. When we return, Copperheads will get things going. Clayton Hodges, Gunnar Aldridge, and Mason Adolny. You are listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. The bottom of the first inning today is presented to you by Ohio Health and Larry's Doghouse. Thank you to Ohio Health and Larry's Doghouse for sponsoring the Southern Ohio Copperheads this season. Back here at Bob Wren Stadium. Defensively for the Grand Lake Mariners, it will be Tim Knapschafer on the mound. Daniel Montagna, first. Elliot Cruzen at second. Adam Ebling at third. Andrew Nicoluk at short. Jacob Daneman, Sam Seeker, and Donnie Goodes in the outfield. Brandon Green behind the dish.
Then for the Copperheads, their lineup today will be Clayton Hodges batting first, followed by Gunnar Aldridge, Mason Adolny, Josh Stile batting cleanup at fourth, Kyle Ryliff batting fifth, Bam Thomas batting sixth. Batting seventh is Maverick Stallings, And then 8th and 9th is Sebastian Silva and Carson Shepard rounding out the lineup for your Copperheads. So we'll start it with Clayton Hodges.
Clayton Hodges into the box. Getting his first chance to lead off this year as he'll chop that one to Ebling. Ebling fires over. 1 pitch, 1 out here for the Copperheads. Trying to maybe get a little bit of offensive advantage, as we said in the pregame, working against Knapp Schaefer.
Yeah, we've seen the Copperheads fall into situations where they've had way too quick of innings. We're going where the pitchers are only going about 5 or 6 pitches and the inning's over. You can't have that. Even with these at-bats, it's good to get contact, of course, but if you can just force some high pitch counts early on, you'll get into that bullpen. And a lot of teams don't have the same depth that the Copperheads do. Even the Copperheads, their depth got challenged this year.
Seen it in some of those games where the bullpen struggles to produce lengthy starts. First pitch to Aldrich is in there for a strike. So trying to, but like Coach said in the Richmond game, rather, trying to work down that starter when they face Matt Dickey is. Gunnar Aldrich will line that one out into left field. That ball will drop, and Gunnar Aldrich will be aboard here in the bottom of the first.
It's great to see that. Gunnar Aldrich has had a tough time at the plate over his last 10 at-bats, batting a little below his average as he's one of his last 10 at the plate, but getting a hit out there that makes early confidence. And it's interesting seeing him at a DH position. He's been the second baseman or shortstop so far this year, so him getting to work in the DH, really focusing on the hitting, I think it's going to pay big dividends down the road.
Mason Adolny will step in now. First pitch to him, swing and a miss. Adolny, 2 for 6 against the Mariners this year, but 3 for his last 10. Trying to work that average back up. Well, actually, never mind. He's hitting 370 this year. Looking at the wrong line. Second pitch is low. 1-1.
Copperheads coming to this game with a 4-8 record. They are tied with the Xenia Scouts for last place in the GLSCL South. So all these games are really going to start to matter in terms of being able to move up the standings. There's still plenty of time left in the season as we're only 1/3 of the way through the year.
The 1-1 from Knapp Schaefer. Did he go? Says he did not. It will be 2-1 for Mason Adolny. Gunnar Aldrich usually pretty aggressive out there on the base pads. Have not seen him really threaten a steal yet.
He does have a pair on the year.
Pitches right down Broadway for strike number 1, or 2 rather. Make it a 2-2 count. 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. No score yet in this one. Knapp Schaefer looks on. Kicks, deals. Swing and a miss for Mason Adolny, who will go down on strikes. And that sends Josh Steidel, the first baseman, up to the plate. 3-8 against the Mariners this year, coming off really one of his worst performances of the year against Richmond.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's been one of the best players all year long, so of course you're going to have a bad game every now and again. He went 0 for 5 against the Jazz, rather, but just against the in his last 10 at the bat, he is 3 of 10. So that just goes to show how great a lot of his games are.
There's a moonshot out to center field. Seeker drifting back and will make the play. Hard to hit out there into center field with Sam Seeker, as he's one of the best outfielders in the GLSCL.
Yeah, he was a returner, and he's one of those type of guys that can make some insane catches. We saw in Game 1 him go up like Superman and rob Bam Thomas out of a base hit. He's definitely a type of guy you're going to see in the All-Star game coming up here in July.
We will be right back for the top of the second inning. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube.
Good work.
Back here in the top of the second inning. Top of the second inning presented today by Jackie O's. For Copperheads fans over the age of 21, highly recommend trying out the Homer's Hazy IPA, the special brew created this year for the Copperheads. Stepping into the box will be Manny Voorhees, the number 4 hitter, trying to get things started for the Grand Lake Mariners.
Copperheads have gotten the best of Manny Voorhees overall, as he's only 1 for 8 batting against the Copperheads, but he does have 2 runs, as he's been able to get on a couple of walks.
There's a shot out to left field. Drifting back is Bam Thomas, not able to make the catch there, so that will be a stand-up double for Sam Seeker. For Manny Voorhees, rather.
Well, for the for the Grand Lake Mariners, it's definitely the way that you want to start off this inning. You didn't really get much going, and then now you hit a double over to Bam Thomas's side. Pretty impressive. And Bam Thomas is a 6'4" guy. It's really hard to hit over him, and he did a good job being able to do that at his first pitch.
Ball kind of hit the back of the warning track and bounced up right into the glove of Bam Thomas as he was tracking that one back.
So now we got Sam Seeker coming up.
Sam Seeker will go to work. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Ball number 1 for Sam Seeker. Runner on second. No outs here in the top of the second. Copperheads and Mariners tied at 0.
Sam Seeker batting 200 and has a trio of RBIs on the season, looking for another.
Walter deals. That one will go foul off of Seeker. Kind of looks like that maybe hit him in the foot. Shaking that one off. 1-1 is the count.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a stinger there. You hate to see it whenever you're hitting and you get either the bat or the ball hitting against your knees or your feet. It's one of those ones you just got to walk out for a couple of seconds.
The 1-1 from Walter. Low, but Silva does a good job keeping that one in front of him. 2-1 is the count.
Tim, we've seen a high number of people move through the base paths due to pass balls. We've even seen a lot of scores due to pass balls. So Silva's going to have to do a great job of that throughout this game because I feel it will play a factor.
2-1. Inside. 3-1 to Sam Seeger. Daniel Walter trying to avoid his first walk of his Copperheads career. Something Coach Lanning and Coach Harris have really been stressing on their pitchers is got to limit those walks.
You definitely do. And the Copperheads, they have been doing a decent job of it lately, but not on that play.
Sam Seeker will draw a walk, and stepping in will be Jacob Danneman, sophomore left fielder, Hanover College from Edgewood, Kentucky. Went 1 for 3, had a run, a double, a strikeout, and was hit by a pitch against the Copperheads. He'll be working here with no outs, 2 runners on, shows bunt, drops that one foul. Be 1-1 or 0-1 for him.
Yeah, he had that 1 for 3 game with 1 run, 1 double in their back in the opener here at Bob Wren, and then the last game he had against the Copperheads, he went 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs as he smoked the Copperheads in that 11-1 emphatic victory in a game that Copperheads wanted to forget, and even us in the broadcast booth wanted to forget as nothing was working for us that day.
Seemed like nothing could go right on that day, unfortunately, Sedric, other than the post-game meal. I think the tacos that were provided by the Grand Lake Mariners staff were phenomenal.
Oh,
so shout out to those guys for the tacos. But not a great day for our equipment, our team. It really was a road trip to forget.
Yeah, that's why we didn't even post the video on that one. I think even the players, they requested that we do not post that.
Lots of issues with heat in that one as well. The 0-2 from Walter. Check swing gone foul. So we'll do it again here at 0-2. No outs yet here in the top of the second. 2 runners on. Manny Voorhees with the stand-up double, and Sam Seeker with the walk. So that brings Danneman up to the plate. Walter, the kick, the deal. Outside, Silva able to keep that one in front of him again. I've really been impressed this season, Sedric, with all three of the Copperheads pitchers, Steidel, Matt Friesen, and then Sebastian Silva. All three of those guys really been impressive behind the plate, and when they get shifted in and out so much, they're still all getting, I think, the reps to prove why they could be the starting catcher for this team.
It is. I agree 100%, Tim. And each of them have their own strengths. Of course, Josh Steidel, with his leadership, and Sebastian Silva, he has a really great job of being able to move your hips when you need to throw down the first base line or throw down the third base line, as well as Matt Friesen, who's been arguably the best with his batting out of the three over these last couple of games. While everybody's had slumps, he's actually had his best time batting over these past couple of games. So all of them really bring a lot to that position. And again, ever since we saw that practice, we knew that was their best position group.
Fly ball to Steidel at first base. Ring reels it in, gets the first out of the inning.
Steidel's looking pretty good out there at first base.
He is. Had a little bit of action so far today. Had the grounder, now the fly ball. And Steidel just an incredible athlete. So being able to slide down over to first base to give Mitch Klass and some of those guys the night off. Really switch up the lineup a little bit while still staying in the batting order is great. First pitch to the number 7 hitter, Brandon Green, senior catcher from Southern University. He's in there for a strike.
Yep, a little bit of more HBCU representation in the GLSCL. Seen it for a couple games in a row now, which always makes me smile.
The 0-1. Great job framing that one by Silva. Catches that outside part of the plate. Strike number 2. So no balls, 2 strikes for Brandon Green. 2 on, 1 out. No score yet here in the top of the second. Bob Wren Stadium, beautiful Athens, Ohio. Ball is high. Temperature's back to a little bit more manageable today. It's about 86 degrees, 82 degrees rather, here at game times. The sun will continue to go down, but we are officially into summertime now, so a little bit extra daylight. The 1-2 is sent down the right field line and will go over the wall. A pack of kids rushing over to make the play, and one lucky fan will go home with a baseball.
Yeah, we have a lot of kids today because the Copperheads, they did a service project earlier today with the kids on campus. So we had about 50 or 60 kids come out here, and the Copperheads players, they went and did games with them, from Sharks and Minnows to capture the flag, football, volleyball, and, of course, baseball and softball. So it was great to see these guys take the time out of their day to be able to come out here and do service for the community.
Another strikeout there for Daniel Walter. He sits Brandon Green down. And stepping in will be Daniel Montagna, sophomore outfielder, hitting out of that number 8 position. Actually, Montagna is playing first base today. My apologies. Yeah, Cedric, the Kids on Campus event today was a really cool experience, something that I think a lot of the players were excited to be involved in. Definitely the staff here at the Copperheads were ecstatic. We got to sit down and kind of teach all the kids about what we do, show them. We walked them through the broadcast booth and the press box and things like that, and then some of the other staff members got to talk about what they do on a game day, and they got to ask questions and things like that, and it was a really good experience to kind of get out there in the community and spend a day with these kids.
I agree. I feel like, again, the Copperheads being back means so much, not just for, obviously, baseball being back, but also just to have that presence in the community. These guys are leaders. These guys are role models for the entire community. Even yesterday, I got to see them go to the Plains Library, and they were reading the kids books about baseball and out there playing with the beach volleyball. And it was just really great seeing how these guys like to serve in the community. And I was talking to Cody Williams, one of our pitchers, and he took a couple of the beach ball to the face a few times, and he had it all and took it all with good fun. But he was smiling and saying, like, when he was that age, he was wishing that, like, people would come in and he'd want to see, like, baseball players come in to read to him. So he's glad to be able to give that back to the community, which is awesome.
The 1-2 pitch is chopped to Nadolny. He will step on third for the third out. So the Copperheads worked themselves out of a jam here, got 2 on early, able to get 3 consecutive outs after that. When we return, it will be the bottom of the second. We'll see Kyle Ratliff, Bam Thomas, and Maverick Stallings. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube.
All right, Cheads fans, so for
The bottom of the second inning is brought to you by Steak and Shake. Kyle Ratliff stepping into the box now to work against Nap Schaefer. Ratliff will foul that first one down the right field side.
Yeah, Kyle Ratliff, it's really interesting. His season, he is batting .286, having a great year for the Copperheads, a trio of home runs, but he has no hits against the Mariners, which is kind of a wild stat.
Going for the all-wood bat today. We'll see if he can, or the all-red bat. This is a wood bat league. See if he can break his streak here. That pitch is just outside. We're 1-1. Nap Schaefer kicks, deals. Ratliff will pop that one up to second base. Cruson is underneath it and makes the play for the first out. So Kyle Ratliff will have to wait another 8 batters to try and get that streak broken, but Bam Thomas will step up to the plate, the number 6 hitter, sophomore outfielder from Flagler College. 1 for 10 in his last 10 plate appearances, 1 for 7 this season against the Mariners, hitting 195. So another guy that would like to kind of break out of that slump that he's in.
Yeah, and I mean, when you lose 6 straight, almost the whole team is slumping. So he's had a lot of situations where he's flied out deep to either left field, center field, or right field. He's had a couple where it's been almost up against the track. Against the Jazz, he had a situation where he was about 5 feet away from a home run, and it just went fouled. So he has the power, and he's shown that he can be able to spray it around at times.
Coach Lanning likes to refer to them as loud outs. Gets them all the way, you know, out towards the warning track in the outfield or super deep fly balls, and gets a lot of excitement, and then unfortunately just not able to to make solid contact with him to get on base. But Bam Thomas, a good enough athlete that, and we've seen him be able to deliver in pretty big moments this season for the Copperheads. So no doubt that he will eventually work his way out of this, but baseball just as much a physical game as it is a mental game. The 1-2, and there it is. Just as we say that, Bam Thomas sends that one out into the gap in shallow right field. So he's on with a single here with only one out. Stepping up now will be Maverick Stallings. Maverick Stallings really hasn't missed a beat at shortstop since joining the team about 4 or 5 days ago. So gotten a couple really good reps, 1 for 10 at the plate, hitting 188. Does have a couple of strikeouts on the year too, but another guy really just trying to work himself back in. Got a bit of a late start to the year. First pitch to him is in there for a strike.
Well, for Maverick Stallings, the defense has been there 100% as he's held down that shortstop position pretty much from day one he's entered the building. But now it's just time to figure out the batting here, and it takes a while for everybody to kind of get into the groove of batting. So this is his first shot against the Mariners, so we'll see how he does against the squad as Bam Thomas has to scamper back to first.
Pitch is in there for a strike, and Brandon Green threatening behind the plate. With Bam Thomas taking a bit of an extra lead over there at first. Bam Thomas, no stolen bases yet this year. Pitch is low for ball number 1. On deck, the number 8 hitter, Sebastian Silva, who we saw just get his first hit of the year the other day.
Yeah, he was really excited when he had that hit against the Steam. He was smiling and celebrating as soon as he crossed that first base.
Bam Thomas thought about going. Pitch is in the dirt. Make it 2-2 for Maverick Stallings.
It used to be a lot easier to be able to steal bases in this league, but I feel like the catchers have really started to get used to their regular season form here, and it's been a lot more tough sledding.
Shot for Maverick Stallings is in the right field gap. Bam Thomas will leg that out over to third base. The throw, not in time. And that is the single for Maverick Stallings, advances Bam Thomas down to third. So Silva will have a runner in scoring position here with only one out in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, great spot to be able to hit that ball for Maverick Stallings. And Bam Thomas, it almost megged him with how the ball went almost underneath his legs as he was running, and it really kind of almost served as like a pick or a screen for the second baseman trying to get to it. So just an all-out great play by the Copperheads, and this is where the opportune hitting needs to come, Tim. You have a man on third, you have one out, a sac fly is a possible situation here. You have to execute.
Silva awaits as there's a throwback from first or to first.
Also like what I see from the dugout, Tim, is you got everybody against the wall there. You have people going, whoa, 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 on the pickoff. Just seeing that energy alive in the dugout just makes me smile.
Something that really hasn't missed a beat despite losing 6 straight games. Copperheads have kept that energy alive. Haven't really seen a whole lot of hanging heads as there's a shot down the left field line. Lucky fan will get away with that one.
Yep, and now it's playing catch with another fan.
And going back to the single from Maverick Stallings, Bam Thomas, a really good job of sitting back and waiting on that to prevent getting hit by the ball. We saw Steidel get hit by a ground ball the other day, and it resulted in an out. So good heads-up base running by him as Stalling will steal second, and that causes a wild pitch. Bam Thomas will come across the score, and the Copperheads are on the board here in the bottom of the bottom of the second.
Tim, what did I say earlier about pass balls or wild pitches, about how that's going to play a factor in this game? At the catcher position, you need somebody that's really going to hold it down. And if you're a pitcher, anything that's way too high, which that one looked like it was way too high for Green to be able to get up to, that's going to result in giving up runs and giving up bases. And we've seen it all year, and it's cost team games. And It's also allowed Coppers to stay in games at times, so it's great that they have an early lead. Let's see if they can build on it.
Kind of looks like Nap Schaefer got a little startled as there's another pass ball. Looks like Maverick Stallings, when he took off to second base, kind of startled him a little bit when his dugout was notifying him, and just threw that pitch high. Now seems to not be very comfortable on that pitch again, but good heads-up base running by the Copperheads, and now another guy into scoring position, a sac fly, as you said, from Sebastian Silva, will likely bring Maverick Stallings home, giving the Copperheads a 2-run lead here.
It definitely can, Tim, and also just with Nap Schaefer and Green. Green is 5'7", so one of the shorter players in the league, and if anything is thrown high up, it's going to be very difficult for him to get to that. So maybe the Copperheads could take advantage of having a pitcher that's not as comfortable. And last time the Copperheads played the Mariners, actually the last 2 times, they played really great pitchers in Gabriel Torres and Justin Boltemeyer, who've both been studs this year. So we'll see if the Copperheads can take advantage.
2-1 pitch high. So that will be 3-1 for Sebastian Silva. 1 out. Copperheads lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the second, courtesy of a wild pitch that scored Bam Thomas and advanced Stallings to second. 3-1 in there for a strike, painting that outside part of the plate. So a full count now for Sebastian Silva, trying to put a ball in play here to potentially score Maverick Stallings and give this team a little bit more of a cushion. The payoff pitch from Nap Schaefer is fouled back, so we'll do it again here full. Carson Shepard, the number 9 hitter, awaits in the batter's box. A guy you likely don't want to get into a situation with. 5 walks on the year, and then after that, 8 stolen bases. Payoff pitch. Fouled straight back into the net again. Silva staying alive, running up that pitch count, Cedric.
See, that's exactly what I like, Tim. Being able to force them into a relief situation. They only have 12 pitchers, and I don't know if everybody's healthy. A lot of teams are going through health concerns. Who played yesterday? I mean, when they give up 18 runs, there's a high chance they went through a lot of batters. So it's key to be able to force these high pitch counts and get them into their bullpen.
Payoff pitch. Just missed that upper part of the plate, so Silva will trot down to first, sending Carson Shepard to the plate, still with only 1 out, and a runner threatening on third base.
One goal I want for the Copperheads to be able to succeed with is every time somebody's on third base, get them home. If they do that today, I have a really high belief that they're going to win this game. That's all it comes down to, the opportune hitting. And I know Coach, for a fact, is emphasizing that to the players.
Something he talked to even us about after the Jazz game when we talked about the adjustments that they made offensively and defensively. I said, Coach, you know, we did everything that you asked and still weren't able to come away with the win. So what's that next step? And he said it's the opportune hitting. Can't leave guys on base. Can't leave guys on third base in the bottom of the 8th inning. Have to bring that run across to either tie it or give yourself the go-ahead run or what have you. And it seems as only about 2 innings into this game, they've now started to do that. Shepard fouls that one away, so 0-2 for him now.
Nap Schaefer, a pitcher where he has 11 strikeouts and 7 walks on the season, so pretty solid ratio there. Not bad, but right now it seems like the Copperheads have him on his heels a little bit.
Nap Schaefer trying to work himself out of this jam. Already 2 hits and a run in this inning. Nap Schaefer, the 0-2. Got him looking for strike 3, and an unusual looking strikeout for Carson Shepard. Only his 5th strikeout of the year. So Clayton Hodges will come in. Has to put a ball in play here if they do want to score a run with 2 outs. But
yeah,
Hodges,
sacrifice fly not alive anymore as well with only 2 outs. But last time Hodges was up, he grounded out. So looking for that first hit of the day.
Hitting that leadoff spot for the first time this season as he sends that one down the right field line, just foul. Hodges hitting .214 on the year. Leads the team in triples, or rather tied for the team lead in triples with 2 of them, tied with Trey Rucker. Triple here would score everybody on base. Napshafer looks on, throws back over to first, not in time. Crowd starting to fill up now a little bit more here as the sun is going down on the east side, or the west side of the park. The 0-1, chopped foul. So it'll be 0-2 with 2 outs to Clayton Hodges.
Yep, Clayton Hodges, one of the players that was there on the reading to kids at the library service trip by the Copperheads, and only 5 or 6 players were able to make it to that, but to have to wake up after playing a game the last night, big respect.
Hodges goes down on strikes. The Copperheads leave 2 on base, but they do get a run across the board. So not all lost in that. When we return, the top of the 3rd inning, you're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd, presented today by OUCU Financial, where you belong. Due up for the Copperheads, or for the Grand Lake Mariners, will be Nicoluk. Andrew Nicoluk takes the first pitch on that outside part of the plate. 1-0 to him. Daniel Walter still on the mound for the Copperheads. Only allowed 1 hit so far today, 1 walk. Pitch is high for ball number 2.
Mariners today are looking to try to keep their spot at 2nd. Any loss could put them all the way down to 5th place. That's how close it is between 2nd and 5th in the GLSCL South, and we'll go over that after this next at-bat.
Pitch is in there for a strike. Walter gets one back. 2-1. Working against Andrew Nicoluk.
Yep, Mariners, Settlers, Steam, Jazz, all with 7+ wins right now.
Copperheads trying to get that elusive win today. to get themselves back in that column, try not to fall too far behind in the standings. As we've said time and time again, it is early in the season and there are plenty of games left to be played, but there comes a point where it does get difficult to come back from, or to catch up in the standings, rather. 2-2 pitch, fouled back into the net. Nice play on the sidelines there by Cruzen to catch that one off the fence.
Nikoluk is batting .273 on the year, looking for RBI number 1.
Kick the deal from Walter. It got him swinging. And another strikeout from Daniel Walter. Looking really impressive in his first start for the Copperheads, his third today.
Yeah, he's had a really quality start so far. I like what I'm seeing from him. He seems like he's going to be a guy that's going to be a great addition to this pitching staff of the Copperheads, especially with Clellan going down. Now it's really been focusing on just being able to find guys that can fill in, and the guys have answered the call.
First pitch to Cruzen is outside. 1-0 count. Copperheads trying to get back into the win column on a 6-game losing streak, full of some difficult losses and some frankly flat out embarrassing losses.
That's true.
Three run rules in a row.
It was, and it started with the Mariners game, actually. On the road against the Mariners, they came in at 4-2 against a 3-3, really hungry Mariners team that remembered the first game against the Copperheads, remember them losing in walk-off fashion. They wanted to return the favor a little bit, even though they, of course, when we talk to Coach Perez, he say, we take it game by game, but I know, of course, that that's still on their mind, and they were able to pull off that victory 11-1. It was just a dominant performance from Torres at pitcher, and he's definitely shown himself to be quite an ace, and it's one of those positional guys that came in and just destroyed the Copperheads. But since that game, it's been all downhill for the Copperheads, and now it starts to see that they're starting to show a little bit of growth, as all those losses were pretty much ugly, aside from the Settlers game where they lost 9-11.
Maverick Stallings gets that one. Throw to Steidel with a nice stretch and gets him for out number 2. But despite losing those 3 games by run rule and then 3 close games after that, Copperheads have continued to battle. We see the effort night in and night out from these guys, and sometimes things go their way and they're able to stay in these close games, and sometimes things really just fall off the rails. And, the pitching and then the fielding and then the hitting can't come back from it, and it is difficult. I know these guys are working hard every day to keep themselves mentally ready for the game and trying desperately to get back in this win column. Pitch to Adam Ebling in there for a strike. So 1-1 to him with 2 outs here in the top of the third. Copperheads lead it 1-0. Here on a nice cool Thursday evening, Athens, Ohio. Foul that one back.
Yeah, it feels nice being in the press box, having a home stretch here and being able to enjoy it while it lasts. We'll be on the road against Hamilton coming up, so we'll take the road again for the first time in a little while and go face the hottest team right now in the GLSCL South, the Hamilton Joes, who are on a 7-game win streak, and they're playing tonight against the Xenia Scouts. No upset is there. The Copperheads will be facing a Joes team that has won 8 straight. But, upsets happen all the time in this league, so I wouldn't be surprised if Xenia gave them a game.
Really, night in and night out, it's anybody's game in this league. We've seen teams get hot, teams get cold, and some teams stay right in the middle. The 2-2 pitch, low. Silva keeps it in front of him. So that will load the count here for Adam Ebling.
Yeah, just look at the Richmond Jazz right now. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They were thought to maybe be out of the playoff race early, like they were going to be one of the bottom-dwelling teams. Now they're right there in the mix. They're 7-7, and by the end of the night, if they beat the Settlers today and the Mariners lose, they're going to be in that second-place spot. Just wild to think about.
Payoff pitch. Just missing that bottom part of the plate, so that's another walk for Daniel Walter. Ebling will march on down to first base. Donnie Goods steps in now with a runner on first. 2 outs. Quick shout out to Adrian College, where Danny Goods goes. A native of Adrian, Michigan. Beautiful town in southeast Michigan. Mother and alumni of Adrian College, so I thought about going there. So shout out to the great people of Adrian, Michigan.
Oh, I see you got some ties there. That's what's up.
Home of the Michigan Monarchs as well, the team in the GLSCL North Division. They play at Siena Heights University, which is just down the road from Adrian College. Small school up there.
Yep, Michigan Monarchs are 7-7 on the year and sitting at 4th in that North Division, which is an absolute deadlock in between spots 1 and 5, as Ice Haulers lead it at 9-5, Locos of Lima behind them at 9-6, Clippers 8-7, the Monarchs that you mentioned, Tim, 7-7, and Jetbox still in the mix at 6-8. And you can't count out the Leprechauns at 4-10, who actually just broke their losing streak, giving the Copperheads the longest losing streak now in the GLSCL.
Copperheads were tied with the Leprechauns for the longest losing streak in the league. Leprechauns able to break theirs. So who says the Copperheads aren't able to do the same thing here tonight, as the 3-0 pitch to, or the 2-0 pitch to Goods is low, making it 3-0.
I agree, Tim, and it's cool that the Copperheads actually have time to rest now. They had a day off unexpectedly when they were supposed to play 2 games due to the rain delay, and that really helped out the Copperheads. So just have days where they don't have to think about baseball for a while. They're able to just focus on helping the community and hanging out and just being able to take your mind back to what really matters. And we see Coach, he always talks to us always about how baseball is a very humbling game. And there's a lot of lessons that you can learn from this sport. And we'll talk about them more after this pitch here.
The 3-1 pitch. Got him again for strike 2 after he tossed the bat. That's the second called strike in a row that has been against Goods after he's kind of marched out of the batter's box thinking he was going to get a call on those close plays. So went from 3-0 to now a full count. Daniel Walter maintaining his composure through this and throwing strikes.
It is, and now you got the fans chirping at him. I hope he's feeling the pressure up there for the Copperheads' sake, as once you get the people in the crowd chanting your name, you never know what can happen.
Likely swing at this one, as he's been 2 called strikes in a row. Payoff pitch is outside, no swing. So now Goods will officially march down to first base. And Ebling will move up to second. Manny Voorhees, the number 4 hitter, the senior infielder from Northern Kentucky University, Wapakoneta, Ohio.
Yep, both him and Donnie Goods are both from Wapakoneta. Crowd today is great. They're quite eccentric, Tim. I'm hearing a lot of different chatter going on down there. I love it.
First pitch in there for a strike, right down West Washington.
Let's go, Tim. That's 2 street names that you've named off today. I'm loving it. You did well against the Jazz. Had a trio of different street names you added in that game. We'll see if you can beat your record. You have Down Broadway, and now you add it to your total as well.
Pitches outside, making it 1-1 to Manny Voorhees. So 2 on here, but just as last inning, Daniel Walter able to work himself out of that after getting 2 guys on in the early part of the inning. So 2 outs here, and Walter trying to close the door on this inning. The 1-1 is fouled down back behind the stands here on the first base side. 1-2 for Manny Voorhees.
Yeah, it's much easier dealing with a situation where you walk 2 straight batters when there's already 2 down in the inning. So now all it takes is just 1 play to be able to close the door, and we'll see if Walter can do it. Nice little test early on. at his time as a Copperhead.
1-2. Flown up in the air. Clayton Hodges comes in to make the play, and he gets himself out of a jam again, putting 2 on, but taking care of business on the mound to retire the sides. Due up for the Copperheads in the bottom of the third, Gunnar Aldrich, Mason Nadolny, and Josh Steidel. When we return, you're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the third inning, presented today by Eclipse Company Store. Stepping into the box will be the second baseman, Gunnar Aldrich, getting a chance to DH today, work on that hitting a little bit as he's trying to work himself out of a bit of a slump. First pitch is chopped over to second base. Cruzen misses the throw. So Aldrich will reach on an error and can't complain. Probably not the swing that he was looking for, but nonetheless have to take advantage of things where you can get them, Sedric.
Yeah, Tim, sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good. And Gunnar Aldrich, he has 100% on base percentage for the day. He singled to get it started in the first, and now he's able to reach on the error. And Copperheads, over these last couple of games, the defense has been committing a couple of errors, giving them better opportunities. And not only errors, but also a couple wild pitches, a couple pass balls. And it's really paid off for the Copperheads.
Nadolny steps in now. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes ball number 1.
Nadolny, he struck out swinging for out number 2 back in the first.
The 1-0 pitch to Nadolny, who's going to show bunt and pull it back. Will take strike number 1, however. So a 1-1 count for Mason Nadolny. Copperheads lead it 1-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. No outs. Gunnar Aldrich on first base. The 1-1 called for strike number 2. So no more bunting for Mason Nadolny. We'll have to take a swing at this one, trying to advance Aldrich and potentially get a couple more runs across the plate. The 1-2 on that outside part of the plate. Green again doing a good job keeping that ball in front of him as Aldrich was threatening to steal there.
Yeah, this is very much a bounce-back game for the pitching staff, as well as Green at catcher position, just to get things going, as last game was one to forget, so they'll try to bounce back today.
2-2, just missing on the bottom part of the plate. Make it full for Mason Nadolny. does have a couple walks on the year. Matter of fact, 4 walks on the year. Trying to advance to the base. The throw back over to first, not in time. Aldrich able to slide back and get safe at first base. So we'll have another payoff pitch coming here. Nap Schaefer looks on, kick steals on that outside part of the plate, and Nadolny will walk up to first base.
Yeah, that's impressive from Nadolny to work an 0-2 count to a walk. That's like something that his former teammate at, or his teammate now at Concordia University and former high school teammate Mitch Class is really good at doing this year, forcing high pitch counts, and we've seen it a lot from Class, and now it's great to see it from Nadolny in this game.
Number 15, Josh Steidel.
So Aldrich will be on second, Nadolny will be on first, and in the box will be Josh Steidel. Steidel knows how to open up a game with his bats. We'll see if he can get something working here. No outs. Steidel due for a big hit here soon. We'll show bunt. Pulls that back as that one's coming in high. It'll be 1-0 for Josh Steidel.
Curious to see if we might see a double steal attempt on the base pass. It looks like the Copperheads are definitely threatening that.
Double steal eliminates the force out at any base for a ground ball. Nap Schaefer kick steals. Steidel drops a perfect bunt, and he will leg that one out over to first, but the throw is in time. The runners do advance, but it will be 1 out for the Copperheads here in the bottom of the third.
That's exactly what Steidel needed to do. Even though it's not a hit, that's still a very productive at-bat where you're able to help your teammates, get people in a scoring position, and set it up here for Kyle Ratliff to try to get something going.
And Kyle Ratliff, another one of those guys, able to open up the game with one swing of the bat. So now with 2 runners in scoring position, a deep fly ball where he's had a lot of success in the last couple games would score a couple of runners. He will take first pitch in there for a strike. Two on, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the third, Copperheads lead 1-0 over the Grand Lake Mariners. Ratliff will step out of the box momentarily and then step right back in.
Copperheads are rocking the alternate jerseys today, the black jerseys with orange trim, orange socks.
Really solid jersey. Sedric, one of my favorites for this team. The 0-1 to Ratliff. Just missing on that bottom part of the plate. It'll be 1-1 for Kyle Ratliff. Copperheads, we're going to get to debut a special jersey yesterday in honor of Turn It Gold and their partnership with them, but that has been pushed back to a later date. I believe July 1st is the date for that. Ratliff swings on that one. It'll be 1-2.
Yep, a little hint about the jersey. If you watched the stream, our 18-minute long stream yesterday, and you peeped our gold shirts, that's a little hint at what the jersey color might be.
I believe the auction for those jerseys is live on our social media. Southern Ohio Copperheads on Facebook, at Copperheads on Twitter, and Cheads Baseball on Instagram. Be sure to follow all of our social media pages. Our wonderful social media director, Skylar Watts, does a great job at keeping you all informed. The 1-2 pitch to Ratliff. Swing and a miss, and oh, yes, swing and a miss. And so Ratliff will go down on strikes. So Bam Thomas will try and get things going now with 2 outs and 2 runners in scoring position. Copperheads trying to avoid leaving another 2 base runners on base in this game, Sedric.
Yeah, they cannot afford that. I'm looking at the left on base totals here, and right now for the game, the Copperheads have a trio of them, and that's not going to cut it. We need to get that number low and keep it at 2, 3, 4, and get a lot of these guys home, and we'll see if Bam can be the one to drive a couple of runners.
Bam will take that first pitch on the inside part of the plate for a ball. So it'll be 1-0 for Bam Thomas. Gunnar Aldrich on third base. Mason Adolny on second with 2 outs. Maverick Stallings awaits in the batter's box. Napshafer will look, and Thomas will take a step out of the box to reset things.
Bam Thomas, the only runner to score in this game so far, as he was scored on a wild pitch from Napshafer, and he ended up getting on base in the first place due to a single to right field.
Really well-placed ball in that gap between second base and right field. The 1-0 is in there for a strike. Occurring theme I've seen just in this early part of the game. Copperheads looking at a lot more strikes than they have in previous games. We've already seen a couple strikeouts looking, something this team really doesn't do a whole lot often.
Coach Lanning, there's certain players on the team where he just wants to see them swinging.
1-2. 1-1 is fouled back, make it 1-2. Now for Bam Thomas. Dugout is still pretty lively as fans are settled in here now for a really nice night for baseball after some of the heat and then the rain yesterday, and it's just great to see another full house here at Bob Wren.
Yeah, Tim, I certainly missed it. Having the rain-delayed game yesterday and just seeing it barren while baseball's being played is just a sad thing.
The 1-2 pitch to Thomas on that outside part of the plate. Green kind of lost that ball a little bit underneath his foot. Home plate umpire had to step away momentarily. And the runners will remain where they are. 2-2 with 2 outs to Mr. 1-4. Napshafer looks on and will deliver the 2-2 as that's a chopper over to second base. The throw is just in time by Cruson to make the play, and the Copperheads leave 2 on here in the bottom of the third. So no runs get across the plate in this one.
Yeah, that was unfortunate break, Tim, as Cruson just saved his team with that excellent play. He dove to the ground to be able to stop that, and oh my, it would have been multiple runs potentially scoring there if I got past him. Clutch defensive play, and I talked to Coach Perez back in the first game of the year, and he said their biggest strength is defense, and they show a little bit of reason why there, and maybe they're questioning that after their last performance where they gave up 18. I think Care really come in today saying, hey, let's see what our defense can do. Defense is our strength, and we're going to show why.
On your mark.
No runners get across. When we return, it will be the top of the 4th inning. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Top of the 4th inning, presented by Ohio Health. Thank you to Ohio Health for all they do for the Copperheads.
First up for the Mariners in this inning, it's Sam Seeker, followed by Danneman and Green, who are also due up this inning.
First pitch is in there for a strike. So 0-2 now for Sam Seeker. And gets him looking for strike number 3. Daniel Walter, now his 4th strikeout of the afternoon. Putting together a really impressive start so far.
Yes, and again, being able to keep the amount of strikeouts you have more than the amount of walks is excellent. So he was tied there at 3-3. Now it's 4-3 in favor of the strikeout total. Quality start so far into the 4th inning. Let's see how many more innings that he will go.
First pitch is chopped over for a quick out.
That's how you like to do it, Tim. 4 pitches, 2 outs.
Well, let's see. There's a bit of a discussion out on the field now. Looks like they're pointing out to the outfield. Maybe a ball might have flown in from the bullpen or been left out there.
Oh, there not enough players? Did Stallings miss his chance? He got back in. I think Stallings just came into the game.
Curious as to what happened there. Nonetheless, 0-1 to Danneman.
So I guess Danneman lives to fight another day. Maybe bounced off of him twice.
Big swing and a miss there from Danneman. So quickly 0-2 for Jacob Danneman, working against Daniel Walter in his first start. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, and no earned.
All right,
through 3 1/3.
Yeah, Walter has 5 straight strikes. We can see if he can maybe do it. It's going to be tough, though. He's got a long way to go.
Just missing that bottom part of the plate. It'll be 1-1 or 1-2.
Maybe I should have said nothing, Tim.
Danneman. Danneman hitting .308 on the year. Sophomore from Hanover College, Edgewood, Kentucky. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Or is that not 3 strikes? Did they not count that first one, possibly?
Yeah, I guess they might have reset. Maybe since we didn't have enough players out there defensively, they just reset the play, or I'm confused. But
umpire says 1-2, so we'll do it again. And there it is. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Daniel Walter. Things are starting. 5th strikeout of the day. So really impressive start for him in his first appearance as a Copperhead. Joined the team just a couple of days ago. The senior catcher, Brandon Green, as you talked about, one of the shorter players in the league, but it can come to your advantage as a hitter sometimes, as the shorter guys have a much smaller strike zone and the pitchers have to be a little bit more precise with their throws. As there's 2 quick strikes, swinging strikes on Brandon Green.
Oof, this is almost an immaculate inning. Did have the 1 ball on the second batter of the inning, Danneman. But we saw what Ryan had earlier this year, and we saw the immaculate inning. It's not finalized yet, and hopefully be finalized in about 2 weeks.
Still waiting to get that one on his stat sheet. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. And Daniel Walter putting things together now for the Copperheads. The Grand Lake Mariners go 1-2-3, and we'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Due up for the Copperheads will be Maverick Stallings, Sebastian Silva, and Carson Shepard when we return. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the fourth inning. Top of the fourth inning presented today by Larry's Doghouse. You get a chance to come out to the ballpark here at Bob Wren. Highly recommend you checking out the Copperheads Crunch Dog that Larry's Doghouse has put together for us. Got the sauce, the cheese, the Copperhead sauce, and the French fried onions. And I think Sedric's sitting over here next to me drooling a little bit. It's one of his favorites. Maverick Stallings will drill that one down the third base line and just barely going foul. Went foul, rode that line right up until third base, and then cut on that outside part of third to go foul.
Yeah, tough break there for Maverick Stallings. He already has had a productive day hitting a single and then advanced all the way to third. He was one of those players left on base at third, which is a situation the Copperheads want to try to avoid. You want to try to get people home, but we'll see if the Copperheads can improve on that as the game goes.
The 0-1 from Knapschafer is on that inside part of the plate again. So it'll be 1-1 for Maverick Stallings. Sun going down as the 1-1 comes across in there for a strike. Bit of speed on that one, too, from Knapschafer.
Grand Lake Mariners coming into this game winning 6 out of their last 9 games, so they've done a great job moving up to second.
Stallings will chop that one foul off the 83-mile-an-hour heater to do it again here at 1-2. Copperheads leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth, trying to avoid dropping 7 straight. Desperately needing to get back into that win column. The 1-2 on that outside part of the plate, off-speed pitch. Not able to find the zone. Playing really well in their last couple of games, Sedric, but just a series of unfortunate breaks and tough outings from some of the starting pitchers and the bats sort of getting cold a little bit. So, but things have really been on the up and up the last game, and then now these 4 innings here. Stallings will foul that one back and continue to work that pitch count.
Yeah, Tim, I agree 100%. What we've seen over these last couple of games is the starting pitching starting to develop for this Copperhead squad, finding those guys who are going to be in rotation, because they have a lot of guys who started off the year as relief guys, and they came in as expecting that to be their position. But we'll see the 2-2 pitch coming up.
The 2-2 on that outside part of the plate again. 85 on that one to load the count at 3-2 for Maverick Stallings. So again, started in that 1-2, 0-2 type area and now able to work it back full. We'll see if he can draw a walk here. Knapschafer, the payoff pitch. Swung on, fouled down that third base line, so we'll do it again full. Maverick Stallings doing a really good job battling here, trying to run up that pitch count on Tim Knapschafer.
Yeah, this is a quality at-bat for the Copperheads no matter what happens on this payoff pitch.
Payoff pitch, high on the 84-mile-an-hour heater, and Maverick Stallings will march down to first base with another leadoff runner on, trying to avoid leaving any more guys on base, only nursing a 1-0 lead, so would like to add a couple more to that.
It seems like the Copperheads statistically have dominated in terms of hits. They have 4 compared to the Mariners just 1. Now it's just time to be able to turn those hits and turn the advantage you have right now into a lead, especially while you have a chance. I have a feeling the Mariners might wake up at some point. Their bats might be able to find a little bit of a rhythm once we start seeing Walter get tired, maybe into the 5th or 6th inning. So if the Copperheads can build a lead, I think that would really be great for them if they want to try to break out of this losing skid.
Sebastian Silva takes the first pitch low. Maverick Stallings will not test the arm of Brandon Green, so he will remain at first base, and the count will be 1-0 to Sebastian Silva. Knapschafer looks on. to Silva. Kick steals. Silva will send that one over to second base. Thought about trying to turn two, was cruising. Decided to just get the easy out at first base. So Silva goes down, but the runner does advance, and now the runner is in scoring position at second base for Carson Shepard.
Exactly. That's productive right there. Even if you have an out situation where you ground out, at least if it's in a fielder's choice situation and you get the leadoff runner to a better base than first, it's a net positive.
Carson Shepard, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts on the year, hitting .290. Usually hits in that first or second spot in the lineup, moving all the way down to 9th to try and hold down the bottom of this order and keep things rolling maybe for those guys at the top part of the order today, where we see Clayton Hodges getting a chance to lead off. Mason Adolny usually farther down the lineup as well. Those guys able to get a chance to see what they can do at the top of the order.
Carson Shepard 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout looking.
The 1-1 pitch from Napshafer. Swing and a miss from Carson Shepard. Down 0-2 here with 1 out. Maverick Stallings over on first base, or second base rather, with 1 out. Copperheads lead 1-0. The 1-2 is outside. Stallings got a nice jump on that. Had that ball gotten past Green, Stallings likely advances to third. One thing that has remained the same pretty much all year for the Copperheads is their aggressiveness on the base pad. Trying to always, stay in the mind of that catcher or that pitcher and use that to your advantage. The 2-2 pitch to Shepard is low as they'll throw back down to second base, trying to catch Stallings, maybe not paying attention, but the count will be full for Carson Shepard.
Yeah, worth a try every now and again to see if you could catch somebody napping, especially mid-game here. Might have somebody, if Maverick, thinking like, hey, I don't have to get back on base. I can just keep my leadoff position. They're not throwing it back here, and Green kept him honest. Good work by Stallings.
They'll throw back again. No tag. Elliot Cruson over there keeping Maverick Stallings honest. But Napshafer will have to worry about throwing a strike to Carson Shepard. Looks on. And Shepard will chop that one over to Montagna at first base. But again, Maverick Stallings advances to third base.
Now batting
And
Copperheads, number 13, Clayton Hodges.
So it'll bring up Hodges 0 for 2 on the day, but looking for that first hit, and could be a really big situation here. Any sort of base hit can score Stallings.
trying to add another run to their lead. Copperheads lead 1-0 against the Grand Lake Mariners here on a beautiful Thursday night, Athens, Ohio. First pitch to Hodges will hit him. So he will march down to first base, and now with 2 outs and runners on the corners, Mason Nadolny will get a crack at it.
Nadolny has had a pretty successful day, a single in the first inning and reached on an error in the third, Gunnar Aldridge.
Gunnar Aldridge, yes, my apologies. Saw Nadolny go up there and pick the bat of Clayton Hodges up. So Gunnar Aldridge, rather, will get a chance to keep this inning alive. Score potentially a couple of RBIs. He will foul that one behind after Hodges' first pitch stealing, trying to get over to second base, but he'll have to retreat back to first. Gunnar Aldrich, 3 RBIs on the year, hitting 143, but started to come alive. Did score the very first run of the season for the Copperheads, an absolute moonshot out to right field against the Grand Lake Mariners on opening night. Really special moment for everyone in this community, finally seeing their Copperheads have a lead for the first time in over 2 years.
Yeah, Tim, and it was in the 4th inning. Bottom of the 4th. So just like it is right now.
The 1-2 pitch on that outside part of the plate, make it 2-1 for Gunnar Aldrich. Runners on the corners. Maverick Stallings over there on third. Clayton Hodges on first after getting hit by a pitch. And Gunnar Aldrich in the box working against Tim Knapschafer. Knapschafer looks on. Will kick and deal. Chopper to the shortstop, Nicoluk, who's not able to hold on to it. Maverick Stallings will come across the plate. Clayton Hodges advances to third, and Gunnar Aldrich will remain at first on the error by Andrew Nicoluk.
Very good fortune there from the Copperheads. I thought the inning was surely over, but again, a couple of key mistakes cost them runs directly by the Grand Lake Mariners. And the Copperheads doing a great job of being able to take advantage of those mistakes.
Montagna not able to hold on to that ball at first base. Now Nadolny will get a crack at it. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. So ball 1 to Mason Nadolny. Runners remain on the corners. Clayton Hodges advances all the way from first to third. Gunnar Aldrich on at first base. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Copperheads now lead 2-0. Nadolny chops that one back towards the Copperheads dugout.
Nadolny has a strikeout and a walk today, and he was retired at second base in the 3rd inning. For the Copperheads, it really showcases on that last play why you always keep running. You never give up on a play. And we saw Gunnar Aldrich, who shown a great job of hustling on the season and did a great job continuing to go to first base even when he thought the play was going to be made.
Hodges dancing a little bit over there at third, try and distract the pitcher. Aldrich will go. Brandon Green the throw. And we'll see what they call that.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen something like that, Tim. That's a bit odd, but looks like it's no harm, no foul. And
possibly Nadolny calling time before the pitcher was set, because I don't see a change to the count on the scoreboard. Pitch to Nadolny outside. Brandon Green keeping the runners honest. Had to walk Clayton Hodges back to third. So the 2-1 pitch to Nadolny on that outside part of the plate for strike number 2. So now 2-2 to Mason Nadolny, junior infielder, Concordia St. Paul from Minnetonka, Minnesota. The 2-2 pitch, Aldrich goes. Nadolny sends that one out to right field, and that will go just foul over into the Mariners bullpen. So we'll do it again here at 2-2. Nadolny, another tough at-bat, staying alive, able to work the count somewhere where he's a little bit more comfortable swinging at something.
And I'm sure Knapschafer right now is starting to feel it as he's had to deliver a lot of pitches, probably a pitch count up in the 50s already early in this game, and that's the type of thing that can lead to some Copperheads advantage later in the game when you got the backups.
2-2 pitch is fouled off again from Nadolny, and bit of activity now down there in the Mariners bullpen. We'll see when change is coming. Assume if Napshafe are able to limit the damage here in the fourth, it'll be next inning, but anything can happen here. As Nadolny will look on for the 2-2. Aldridge goes, swing and a miss from Nadolny. Copperheads leave another 2 base runners on in this inning. However, they do get the score off the error on the throw from Andrew Nicoluk. So we'll head to the top of the 5th inning. When we return, it will be Montagna, Nicoluk, and Cruson. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 5th inning. Top of the 5th inning presented by Jackie O's. For Copperheads fans over the age of 21, we highly recommend the Homer's Hazy IPA. Available at Jackie O's, as well as some of our other partner bars and restaurants around the great city of Athens. Quickly 0-2 now for Montagna. Daniel Walter making quick work of him here in the top of the 5th.
Montagna in the 2nd inning hit into a fielder's choice.
Montagna stands in. Walter kicks, deals. Just missing that bottom part of the plate. So it's 2-2 now for Daniel Montagna.
Daniel pitching to Daniel, huh?
2-2 pitch. Did he go? Yes, he did. That is strike number 3 and another strikeout. The 7th strikeout today from Daniel Walter.
He's really turned it on. At one point, he had a ratio of 3 strikeouts to 3 walks. Now it's up to 7-3 as Walter's really turned it on. That's 4 straight strikeouts, Tim. 4.
Now stepping up to the plate, Andrew Nicoluk, the hot dog hitter. So the fans will surely be on their feet for that. A nice call from the umpire there for strike number 1. Trying to excite this crowd. Walter kicks, deals, another swing and a miss.
0-2
So
for your hot dog hitter.
0-2 count now. Reminder for fans listening at home, if the hot dog hitter strikes out, it's dollar hot dogs for the remainder of the inning. Walter kicks, deals, just on that inside part of the plate, and I can see him smiling up on the mound from here. He wants this strikeout, Sedric.
Yeah, he sure does. He had 5 coming in, or 4 these last couple of bats that he's had to go, and he's trying to make it 5 in a row right here. 5th one, the biggest of them all.
Walter kicks, deals, fouled back into the fence. So we'll do it again here at 1-1.
Yeah, I love these promotions. They are really great, Tim. And I think even us in the broadcast booth, we get pretty hyped up for the hot dog hitter, the beer batter, just to see the crowd be able to be ignited and get the chirping going.
The 1-2 pitch from Walter. Just missing that outside part of the plate. Walter wanted that call.
Yeah, the umpire's not going to be a popular man amongst this crowd with calls like that because, everybody in this crowd wants a hot dog, Tim.
Crowd is on its feet for the 2-2 pitch. Walter delivers high, and it will be 3-2. So a full count now for Mr. Hot Dog Hitter, Andrew Nicoluk.
Yeah, Tim, it's a payoff pitches to a lot of people in this crowd. Will they get those low-priced hot dogs, the quality Larry's Doghouse?
Quite literally a pay-off pitch.
Hey.
As Walter takes a deep breath, will kick and deal the payoff pitch, and fouled back off the press box. And be careful down there, fans. As that one kind of took a weird bounce off the roof of the press box in the window next to us and ricocheted around a little bit. Everybody is okay, however. Walters kick, steals. Just missed that outside part of the plate. And Andrew Nicoluk will take a walk down to first base. The fans here at Bob Wren are not happy about that one.
It is. I'm not happy about that either. I thought about that 1-2 pitch. I think that had a chance of being a strikeout, but they didn't call it. And that breaks the 4 straight strikeouts. And it's unfortunate that of those 4 strikeouts, none of them were against the hot dog hitter. But there'll be another opportunity later when the beer batter comes around, Tim.
Elliot Cruson now with 1 out. And Silva keeping that runner honest. That ball will miss high for ball number 1.
Cruson has a strikeout and a ground out on the day, so looking for hit number 1 to break the 0-2 day.
The 1-0 pitch. Shot out into the gap. And Coach Tony Perez will give Nicoluk the sign. He will stop at second base, so just a single for Elliot Cruson, but Adam Ebling will step in now with 2 on and only 1 out, trailing by 2 runs here in the top of the 5th inning.
Yep, Ebling has a ground out in the 1st and walked in the 3rd, so.
Looks like Coach Harris will make his way out to the mound to have a chat with his pitcher, Daniel Walter. Probably not going to see a change here just yet.
No, they definitely like to see a little bit more, maybe 5, at least 5 innings. I think that's a good baseline for starting pitching here in this league. You'd want to have 6 or 7. We saw Maudsley be able to go 7, but with this being Walter's first game, it would be great to be able to see him at least go and finish off this inning here. But this is probably the most trouble he's been in all day now with 2 runners on, 1 out in the inning. You're just allowed to hit. But it's a great spot for the Copperheads overall, and I've really been impressed with what I've seen from Walter today. I mean, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, solid ratio there, and I feel like he's going to be a really dependable guy for this pitching staff of the Copperheads that's starting to get better day by day. I like what I'm seeing.
Everybody kind of settling in, knowing their role on this team, and that goes not just for the pitching staff, but for the offense and defense as well. Guys kind of learning where they fit in with this team. We saw Shepard get a couple chances to play third and decided that wasn't really probably the best spot for him, but has been really successful at that second base and that shortstop position. First pitch to Ebling is outside. So 1-1 for him. 2 on, 1 out. The 1-0 pitch. Did he go? There's a strike anyways. Good pitch there from Walters. 1-1 is the count now.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch. And Silva will have to keep him honest once again.
Yeah, good recovery by Silva there, too, as well as the ball was pitched a little bit outside. He did a good job of being able to shuffle from his catching position to prevent a pass ball and hold the runners at their second and first base positions.
Copperheads nursing a 2-run lead here, but 2 runners on and only 1 out as there's a shot out to center field. Hodges is tracking, and Nicoluk will come down to third off the throw from Hodges. So the runners do advance. Crowd maybe saying he left early, but they'll do their due diligence anyways.
Fans are insisting the guy on third left early. I don't think the umpire agrees, and it'll bring on the next batter.
Nonetheless, 2 outs now for Donnie Goods, trying to bring the first run of the day across for the Grand Lake Mariners.
Donnie Goods with a walk and a ground out for his total on the day. So 0 for 1 with the walk.
Solid piece of hitting from Adam Ebling to advance the runners on a pretty solid shot out there to right field. First pitch is in there for a strike. Donnie Goods working against Daniel Walter. Daniel Walter on the day, 7 strikeouts and no earned runs. That one is in there for a ball, so it'll be 1-1. Walters will look on. Kick deal. Swing and a miss from Goods. So now 1-2. And here quickly, Daniel Walter in a spot to work himself out of this jam. Still not allow any runs. We'll need 1 more strike to take care of business there. Walter takes a breath, kicks, deals, throw. Got him looking, strike 3. And just like that, Daniel Walter, with 2 runners in scoring position, works himself out of the jam, gets his 8th strikeout of the afternoon, and puts up another goose egg for the Grand Lake Mariners.
Yeah, Tim, and just to put this in perspective, the record right now in the GLSCL for this season for strikeouts is 10. So he's just 2 more away from tying with Matt Dickey. And we saw what happened when Matt Dickey had 10 strikeouts in a game. He won the pitcher of the week.
When we return here in the bottom of the 5th, Copperheads will get a chance to add to their lead. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. The bottom of the 5th inning today is brought to you by Steak and Shake. Josh Steidel coming up to the plate to get the work started here in the bottom of the 5th. Chops that one foul. Coach Harris over there in the first base coach box, not able to make a play on it. So it'll be 0-1 for Josh Steidel.
Yeah, some interesting scores just to keep note of as we go throughout this game. In the bottom of the 6th inning, the Hamilton Joes, first place in the division, are down to the Xenia Scouts at home, 2-0. So it's a little bit shocking there. That could be a potential major upset. And if that happens, the Hamilton Joes 7-game win streak could be going up in smoke. There's a couple of games that are kind of crazy right now, too. Top of the 4th, Michigan Monarchs up 10-6 over the Ice Haulers.
Steidel will pop that one up into shallow right field. Cruising underneath it to make the snag, and that's 1 out for the Copperheads. Stepping into the box now will be Kyle Ratliff. Trying to get things started here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Copperheads with a 2-0 lead.
Yep, Ratliff, he has a flyout and a strikeout today, but he has been out here swinging. And we'll see if one of these gets it right on time, as he's hit a couple of home runs on the year, a trio.
Nap Schaefer looks on. And Ratliff sends that one out into shallow left field. That will be a base hit single for Kyle Ratliff.
Good work by Ratliff, finding the spot in the defensive alignment there, dropping it right in front of the left fielder. And for the Copperheads and for Kyle Ratliff specifically, he's finally gotten a hit against the Grand Lake Mariners. That has been the one team that's really had his numbers so far, so great to see him be able to pick up that first hit.
And once Kyle Ratliff gets things going, he's a pretty difficult guy to slow down offensively, one of the top offensive players on this team.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that really surges when he gets like one hit, whether it's like a single or just a double or anything to get going. I feel like as the game goes on, he builds off of that, gets another single, gets another double, even a home run. And we saw his most heroic moment right in front of our eyes a couple games ago against the Xenia Scouts. When the game was tied 5-5, he hit a 3-run homer in the 9th inning right towards center field, and it hit so hard it went all the way through the trees. You don't even know where the baseball went, but he absolutely destroyed that ball, helped to win the game for the Copperheads, and again, that was a big win. That was the last win the Copperheads had at this point, and they're looking to get another win here against a Grand Lakes Mariners team that sits at 2nd in the division. And things are still early, so things can change in an instant, especially we're looking at these other scores. Xenia at the bottom of the division could potentially upset Hamilton.
Bam Thomas in the box now. Will take ball number 1 low on that outside part of the plate. 1 on, 1 out. Copperheads lead by 2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 1-1 is chopped through the middle of the infield, and Nicoluk able to knock that one down, but not able to make a play on it. So that will keep Kyle Ratliff at 2nd base. Bam Thomas with a single to advance to 2nd.
Yeah, Tim, talk about hitting it right down Broadway. You hit it right past the pitcher and then in between shortstop, 2nd base, and it almost just ricocheted. It was like a skee ball or some sort of pinball or something like that, with the ball going back and forth between the shortstop and the 2nd baseman. And much to the Copperhead chagrin, or actually much to the Copperhead's advantage, rather, they have 2 runners on.
Maverick Stallings awaits the first pitch as there's a double steal attempt. The throw down to 2nd, not in time as that ball goes out into the outfield. Kyle Ratliff headed home, and he will score off the error. I believe they'll score that an error.
Yep, 1 stolen base apiece and 1 error.
Bam Thomas will advance to 3rd base, and another run comes across this inning for the Copperheads.
What's been interesting, Tim, is that all the runs so far on the day for the Copperheads have all been off of either wild pitches or errors. They don't have a single RBI today, yet they're up 3-0.
Taking advantage of the situations presented to them. Something that, while the bats might not be there, the situational base running and the things like that, Copperhead's able to take advantage. It's now 2-0 to Maverick Stallings.
Maverick Stallings has a single and a walk today, so rocking that 100% on base percentage.
As there's a pass ball, and Bam Thomas will head home to score. That's the second run today off a pass ball. Kyle Ratliff and Bam Thomas, well, actually 2 runs today by Bam Thomas off wild pitches. Copperheads take a 4-0 lead.
It seems like Napshafer and Green just can't get on the same page right now. There's been a couple of situations where he's either pitching above him or below him.
A little bit of work going on now in the Mariners bullpen. A couple of guys starting to get stretched out. Big swing and a miss there from Stallings. Got it at a 2-2 count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 runs come across the score for the Copperheads, so the base is empty for Stallings. Stallings checks, doesn't go, so it will be a full count for Maverick Stallings. Seen quite a few full counts today, Sedric. A lot of guys able to work that count, just continue to work back, especially from like 1-2, 0-2 counts, as we see a walk there from Maverick Stallings.
Yeah, 100%, Tim. And I was about to make that point about how the Copperheads have forced Napshafer into throwing all of these pitches. And you could tell he's starting to get a little bit tired out there on the mound, so much so that his coach is going to be going out there to talk to him as we speak. But for the Copperheads, that's exactly what you want to do. Even earlier on in the game where they weren't getting as many people on base, it ended up still paying off as they kept forcing these full counts, kept forcing that pitch count up high. And now that's going to be the end of Napshafer. And for the Copperheads, now they can try to take advantage of whoever's going to be in this bullpen today for the Grand Lake Mariners. So we'll see who's up next.
We will take a short break, and when we return, we will resume the top of the 5th inning. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 5th, the new pitcher for the Grand Lake Mariners, Braden Goulet, will go to work first against Sebastian Silva.
Yeah, Braden Goulet, he's played in 2 games against both the Scouts and the Settlers, pitched 5 2/3 innings, has a 3.17 ERA, and has given up 5 runs on the year. Two
First
of them
pitch
earned.
for Goulet. Swing and a miss from Sebastian Silva. Maverick Stallings on first. Two Copperheads have scored this inning. Kyle Ratliff and Bam Thomas both scored on, well, Kyle Ratliff scored on errors. Bam Thomas on a wild pitch. Stalling goes, but that ball is fouled. So 0-2 for Silva, as Stallings will have to trot back down to first base.
Silva with a very productive day, as he has a walk and also hit into a fielder's choice. But when he hit to that fielder's choice, it allowed Maverick Stallings to get into scoring position back in the third inning, or back in the fourth inning, rather.
Goulet looks, delivers. Swing and a miss from Sebastian Silva. So he'll go down on strikes. And that leaves Carson Shepard to step up into the box with 2 outs, 1 on first base.
Carson Shepard hasn't gotten too many chances against the Mariners this year. He's 1 for 2 against them, and looking to get a couple more hits on him, as he had a strikeout and a ground out earlier today.
For those wondering why Carson Shepard is only 1 for 2 against the Mariners, in that first game against the Mariners on opening night, I believe he had a couple of walks and a couple of hit by pitches. He didn't get a whole lot of chances to swing the bat, as he'll foul that one back quickly down 0-2.
Yeah, actually took the first pitch of the year for the Copperheads as a hit by pitch.
The 0-2 pitch high. So Shepard will stay alive here at 1-2. Shepard, as we've mentioned quite a few times, one of the higher on-base percentages in the entire GLSCL, flirting around that 500 mark, as is Trey Rucker and I believe Mason Adolny or Mitch Klass, one of the two of those guys on base percentages is up there. So Copperheads know how to get on base. The Shepard will send that one out to center field. Sam Seeker reels it in for out number 3, but the Copperheads do their damage here in the bottom of the 5th. Kyle Ratliff and Bam Thomas come across to score to give the Copperheads the 4-0 lead. Coming up in the top of the 6th, it'll be the number 4 hitter Voorhees, number 5 hitter Seeker, and number 6 hitter Daneman. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the sixth inning presented by OUCU Financial, where you belong. Here in the top of the sixth inning. And Josh Robinson will come in for the Copperheads after Daniel Walter, an impressive 5 innings of work in his first appearance as a Copperhead, racked up 8 strikes. First pitch from Robinson, flirting with the bottom of that zone, did not go on the swing, so 1-0.
I like what I've seen. So Daniel Walter's day, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, no runs, none earned, no wild pitches. Lovely numbers right there. Lovely.
Something that I'm sure when we talk to Coach Lanning after the game, he will be impressed with, as really trying to establish those starters on this team and get that rotation set. The 1-1 pitch. Low, kind of hops up and bounces into Silva's chest. It'll be 2-1.
For Voorhees, he has a fly out, and he also reached first earlier today on a walk.
Robinson, the 2-1. Chopped. Foul. So 2-2 to Manny Voorhees here in the top of the sixth inning. Copperheads lead 4-0. Not any earned runs today for the Copperheads, just taking advantage of the opportunities they have been presented, whether that be errors or wild pitches But a beautiful night for baseball here at Bob Wren Stadium. Robinson, the 2-2, swing and a miss, and Josh Robinson comes in, gets his first strikeout of the day.
Well done by Robinson, as he was able to get a little bit of a break on that ball, and he was able to force Voorhees to try to swing for something outside of his path.
Josh Robinson, a couple solid appearances this year through Sam Seeker, now the Jackie O's beer batter. If Robinson's able to strike him out as well, beer will be discounted here at the park for all of our great fans. He'll take ball number 1 on that outside part of the plate. Robinson shrugs his shoulders, winds up, and delivers. There's a shot out to Josh Steidel, who makes the play over there at first base, leaning down to grab that one. And Steidel showing he's comfortable playing that first base position. We were kind of talking before the game. I mean, we knew he was an athlete, but not sure if he had any experience playing first base before, and putting all those doubts to rest, Sedric.
Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife out there. You can put him at catcher, you can have him just be your DH, or you can have him at first base apparently, and I like what I'm seeing so far out of Steidel.
Big swing and a miss there from Jacob Danneman. Working against Josh Robinson. Josh Robinson has only pitched about 6 pitches so far, got 2 quick outs. And he'll deliver the 0-1. There's a fly out to foul territory. Steidel and Hodges both drifting over to try to make the play, not able to do so, as that ball was kind of in no man's land over there in foul territory. So 0-2 for Danneman. Josh Robinson coming in here in the 6th inning in relief of Daniel Walter. 5 solid innings of work, and as Cedric mentioned earlier, 8 strikeouts.
Yes, an absolutely terrific start, and we hope to see more of that from the Copperheads pitching staff. It's been trending in the right direction right now, Tim, and to see them have a couple of straight games now where they've had great starting pitching performances where you have guys going at least 5 innings. It just makes it a lot easier on the relief guys to come in, be able to put in their 1 or 2 innings of work and make it go like clockwork.
And we've seen some really solid work in the last couple of games as well from those middle relief guys. You talk about Josh Robinson, you talk about Luke Borer, Adam Beery, Sean Peck, Jake Jordan. Guys like that have really come in. Andrew Yeary, Dylan Herner. Really all these guys have kind of come in and they do their couple innings worth of work and really set the Copperheads up to be successful.
They sure do, and it really sets it up well for our closers as well with Jared Oakes and Luke Borer. They've done a great job on the year picking up whether they need to pick up saves or whether they just need to close a game out. Those guys have been very solid.
Danneman will take that one off the elbow, so he'll march down to first with 2 outs. And Brandon Green, the senior catcher, step in to the box. Brandon Green takes strike number 1. Silva will throw that down to first. Danneman back in time. 0-1 for Brandon Green.
Brandon Green has struck out twice as Daniel Walter had his number. Hopes to have some better luck against Josh Robinson. Robinson has other plans.
Robinson keeps him honest over there at first. Mariners still trying to get their first run of the day. 2 hits, 2 errors. Wow, the Copperheads have gotten 4 across off 6 hits and no defensive errors. Again, another shining point of today's game is the lack of errors. Stalling not able to hold on to that one. It kind of skipped up and out of his glove and got back in quickly there by Bam Thomas over there in the outfield. So now 2 on for the Copperheads, and Daniel Montagna trying to keep things alive here now. 2 on with 2 outs for the Mariners.
Montagna hit into a fielder's choice and then struck out swinging for his total on the day.
First pitch to Montagna. Chopper Silva to Steidel to get the 3rd out of the inning. So another bit of a scare, but Josh Robinson takes care of business, and the Copperheads hold a 4-0 lead. In the bottom of the 6th, we will see the top of the lineup, Clayton Hodges, Gunnar Aldridge, and Mason Nadolny. When we return, you're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the sixth inning presented by Eclipse Company Store. Clayton Hodges will step into the box for the Copperheads, working against Braden Goulet. And Goulet will look on. The lefty kick steals. Hodges will foul that one back. Cedric, it's been a crazy night in the GLSCL. You got some score updates for us?
Sure do. I'll only give you a few of them there as we got a couple games going on. The Sandusky Ice Haulers, Michigan Monarchs. Top of the fifth inning. Check this. 13-8 is the score with the Monarchs over the Ice Haulers right now, as that game is emphatic with the amount of runs that are being scored. Can't wait to read that summary. And then the Hamilton Joes have taken the lead over the Xenia Scouts. Hamilton trying to make it 8 straight wins.
Hodges will chop that one over to second. The throw is in time for Clayton Hodges for out number 1.
Other GLSCL action in the South Division, Richmond Jazz up 3-2 over the Settlers. Richmond Jazz trying to take over that second place spot. If they want to get that, they need the Mariners to lose tonight to the Copperheads, and they need to win over the Licking County Settlers. Settlers trying to stay above 500 as they are 7-6 right now. A loss will put them down to 500.
Gunnar Aldrich will step in now with 1 out. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Aldrich steps, and he'll foul that one back. And we almost had the perfect storm, Cedric, for us to reach out and make a play on that ball.
Tim, I thought that one was the one. I felt it bounced off of the net, and I knew for a fact that it was there. It was there for us to be able to make a catch.
I even brought my glove to the ballpark today, as Aldrich will foul that one back. Wanted to maybe get a quick game of catch in if we finished everything in time today, but have to maybe save it for another day. The 0-2 pitch to Aldrich, outside for ball number 1.
Gunnar Aldridge has a single in the first inning, a really good bounce-back day, I'd say, as he has 2 times that he reached first off of errors. Interesting enough.
The 1-2 pitch will be popped up down that left side of the field, and that will drift into the Copperheads dugout, and Ebling not able to make a play on it. So Aldrich will stay alive here at 1-2.
Some strategic boxing out by the Copperheads in their dugout there. I'm sure none of the players were moving aside necessarily to make it easier for Ebling to come up with the catch.
Ebling kind of had a clean look on it, but not able to get his hand over that dugout fence to make the play. The 1-2 is high, make it 2-2 now for Gunnar Aldrich here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Copperheads lead 4-0. And now Goulet will load the count here at 3-2 for Gunnar Aldrich. Mason Nadolny waits on deck. Number 3 hitter today. Payoff pitch is fouled back. Aldrich walking that one off a little bit. I think he got a pitch that he liked, just not able to make clean contact with it. But he'll have another chance here to do it at 3-2. The wind, the kick, the deal is going to be high. And Aldrich, another one of those guys today, able to take a count where he falls behind quickly and get on base, draw a walk as a result of it.
Yeah, Tim, the Copperheads are really doing a great job checking all those boxes of things you need to do today, whether that's at least finishing, getting a couple of runs when somebody gets the third, albeit by errors. They've been able to do a good job taking advantage and forcing these situations through tough hitting into the infield.
So Nadolny will send the first pitch out over towards the bullpen of the Mariners, down 0-1 for Mason Nadolny.
Yep, and then also forcing the high pitch count and also just being great at coming back. They've been a lot of situations where it's been 0-2, you think you might be out of it, and they just continue to fight and continue to work the pitch count into a more advantageous situation, and It's just great to see what the Copperheads have been able to do today.
The 0-1 swung on and missed from Mason Adolny. So he is quickly down 0-2. Gunnar Aldrich on first. Josh Steidel awaits in the batter's box. Goulet delivers. Nadolny sends that one into the gap in right field. Gunnar Aldrich gets the breaks from Coach Lanning over there at third. So a single for Mason Nadolny here with one out. Moves up Gunnar Aldrich to second. And the big bat of Josh Steidel will step into the box now with one out.
Josh Steidel on his day has a fly out, hit into a fielder's choice, which advanced runners into scoring position, and then flied out in the fifth.
Two on, one out for Steidel as he swings and misses on that first pitch from Braden Goulet. Crowd still very much involved in this game. As Goulet will look on and deliver the 0-1. Steidel sends that one out to left field. Danneman underneath it, and there will be no advance on that as Danneman got that ball in quickly.
Now batting for the Copperheads, number 2, Kyle Ratliff.
So Kyle Ratliff will step into the box now with two outs, two men on with a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the sixth. Copperheads looking to break their 6-game losing streak. First pitch to Ratliff, fouled straight back into the fence.
Ratliff has a fly out, a strikeout, and then also singled and was able to go all the way around the base paths and score. It's the third run of the day for the Copperheads, up 4-0.
The 0-1 to Ratliff, taken for strike number 2. So Ratliff and the Copperheads down to their final strike of the inning, trying to avoid leading another 2 men on base this inning. Goulet looks, delivers the outside part of the plate. So 1-2 to Kyle Ratliff. Copperheads have yet to get an earned run in this game, but have been able to take advantages, earn walks, and not able to hold on to the throw, and Kyle Ratliff advances to first base on a drop third strike. That is something you don't see every day.
I'm in absolute shock right there, Tim. You don't see that very often, as they're saying, but Montagna has had some issues being able to make those catches at first base. Some of these seem like they should be routine, and I know Montagna, he's coming on here for Gabriel Torres, who's usually the guy that is the first base, but he's kind of made that move to pitcher, so now other players have had to step up for the Mariners to fill in, but the Copperheads catching a break as this game has not been too clean for the Grand Lake Mariners.
The third error of the day for the Grand Lake Mariners, and good job by Mason Adolny to be patient over there at first base. He kind of sat there and waited to make sure that he wouldn't get tagged out as Ratliff was running down. First pitch to Bam Thomas is a strike. Bam Thomas looking to get on base with 2 outs. And the base is loaded for the Copperheads. Bam Thomas swings at another one and is quickly down 0-2.
Bam Thomas with a pair of singles, which ultimately ended in runs. One of them off a pass ball, the other off of a wild pitch.
The 0-2, Ratliff swings and misses for that. Or Bam Thomas, rather, swings and misses on that. So the Copperheads leave them loaded here in the bottom of the 6th. Not able to get any across when we return the top of the 7th inning. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 7th presented by Ohio Health. Josh Robinson on the mound again for the Copperheads. He'll be going to work against Andrew Nicoluk. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes ball number 1. Copperheads lead it 4-0 here in the top of the 7th. 4 runs off 6 hits and no errors for the Copperheads. And for the Mariners, no runs off 3 hits and 3 errors. One of those errors resulting in a run. The other 3 for the Copperheads coming off wild pitches or pass balls. Nicoluk steps back into the box after taking a quick break and awaits Robinson, who shrugs his shoulders, kicks, and deals. Misses on that inside part of the plate. 2-0 to Nicoluk.
Doing some more scoreboard watching. Xenia takes the lead over Hamilton, trying to do what they can to get out of last place in Hamilton. Win streak is on the line.
Robinson delivers the 2-0 in there for a strike. Finally got it just back across that strike zone line to now make it 2-1.
Nicoluk has a strikeout and a walk today.
2-1 to Nicoluk. He'll foul that one back into the stands. So 2-2 for Nicoluk. Robinson able to work himself back into this count. Now even with Nicoluk.
Nicoluk coming all the way out east here. He's from California originally, so coming out here to Ohio to play some summer ball.
2-2 pitch to Nicoluk is on its way. Robinson delivers. Just missing the upper part of the strike zone. Make it 3-2. That ball started up top, had a nice amount of break on it, and just broke a little too late. So the count will be full for Robinson. Payoff pitch is high and inside, so that will be a walk for Andrew Nicoluk. And he gets on here in the top of the 7th. Mariners still searching for their first run of the game. Elliot Cruson from Dartmouth College, Wildwood, Missouri. The freshman will step in to the box. 1 on, no outs. First pitch inside part of the plate. Silva not able to hold on, and then picks it up almost immediately to hold Nicoluk there at first base.
Good job to be able to work if you drop a pitch, making sure that the people who are running, make sure that you keep them at their spot. It's a good job there by Silva of doing that.
One thing all these catchers do really well is keeping their eyes on where the base runner is. You can see they kind of do that sideways run, bit of a shuffle almost. Got him, said he went on that. Or something that we saw Friesen do the other day, where he kind of slides, keeps his head turned and slides to where the ball is. That way he's still able to see where that runner's at to know if he needs to make the throw or not. Throw back over to first to keep him honest.
Cruisen is 1 for 3 on the day with a single, a strikeout, and a ground out.
1-1 pitch to Cruisen. Robinson. Cruisen will send that one over down the hill beyond the Mariners bullpen. Couple of hops, probably would have been sent down there to the OU softball field, but a couple of lucky fans able to make a play on that. 1 and 2. And he will send that one into the gap. Clayton Hodges comes in, does not make the catch on a really tough diving play there. Really an awkward position to try and come up and make a play on that. Hodges not able to slide in to make the play, so that will be a single for Elliot Cruisen and Adam Ebling will try to get things done here. 1 runner in scoring position, 2 runners on. Umpire calls time. It appears a couple of the Copperheads players too close to the field. Down there in their bullpen, down the left field line. Looks like they were sending a couple guys to the dugout, sending a couple guys back over to the bullpen, and umpire wanted to make sure everybody's staying safe out here. So Ebling will await his first pitch from Robinson. Check swings that one over to Shepard. Shepard, a wonky throw. It hit him, but I'm not sure if Stallings was able to get the tag. He was not.
Nope, the ball bounced off of the back of the runner. That was Cruisen, who was running from first to second base. And it almost was like a play in dodgeball where you try to throw the ball and get them out. But in baseball, you got to make sure to get a tag, and that's not going to help them out. So bases loaded.
Shepard not able to get his feet set on that throw. A little bit low in the dirt. Stallings not able to make a clean tag on that. So bases loaded now for Danny Goods, who sends that one out into center field. Kyle Ratliff makes the play, but 1 run will come across. The throw into third, not in time. So it'll be runners on the corners, and the Mariners get their first run of the day. RBI sac fly for Donnie Goods.
Now there's some trouble here for the Copperheads. No outs. Be a big time for Josh Robinson.
1 out here in the top of the 7th. Mariners trail 4-1. And it appears a balk was called on Josh Robinson. So that'll be another run coming across, and the runner will, or it looks like Ebling will advance up to second base. So that's 2 runs now for the Copperhead, or for the Mariners. Robinson delivers. Low and in the dirt. Josh Robinson not able to find the strike zone there. Runner on second, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Copperheads lead it 4-2. Robinson delivers. Chopper to to Nadolny. Steidel able to hold on to it at first, so that's 2 outs. But Ebling does advance over to third now with 2 outs.
So it's great that Nadolny was able to get out number 2 for the Copperheads. This is a type of inning where you need to make sure to get out of it with maintaining a 2-run lead.
Sam Seeker, the sensational defensive center fielder, will step in now for the Mariners. Robinson delivers the first pitch just on that outside part of the plate. Ball number 1.
Sam Seeker has a walk, a strikeout, and a fly out, or more like a line out, rather, to Josh Steidel.
The 1-0. High. So it will be 2-0. Pitch to Seeker, who will foul that one behind the press box, making it 2-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Mariners able to crawl back into this one, getting 2 runs, with another runner threatening on third. Seeker awaits the 2-1 pitch. High in the zone, making it 3-1 for Sam Seeker. Robinson looks on. Kicks, deals. Got him looking for strike number 2. So it's a full count now.
Big time payoff pitch coming up.
Robinson able to work himself back into this count, like so many of these Copperheads pitchers. The payoff pitch. In there. Got him looking. Strike 3. Josh Robinson able to work himself out of a jam there late in the top of the 7th. But the Mariners get the job done, get 2 across, their first 2 runs of the game, and now only trail by 2 runs headed to the bottom of the 7th. For the Copperheads, we will see Maverick Stalling, Sebastian Silva, and Carson Shepard when we return. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bottom of the 7th inning presented by Larry's Doghouse. If you get a chance to come out to the ballpark, make sure to try the Copperheads Crunch Dog. Thank you to Larry's Doghouse. Maverick Stallings steps into the box and takes the first pitch outside for ball number 1.
For the Copperheads, you want to try to pad that lead back, at least try to match the 2 runs of the Mariners with 2 runs of your own.
The 1-0 in there for a strike to even the count at 1-1 for Maverick Stallings.
When looking at the numbers right now, the Copperheads have left 11 on base on the day, and about 3 or 4 of them were in scoring position. So hopefully that does not come back to bite the Copperheads. But for the Cheads, I think 4 runs will not be enough. I think they need to put together at least 1 or 2 more runs in order to stave off this Mariners squad.
The 2-1 is low, making it 3-1 now for Maverick Stallings. And Sedric, I tend to agree with you there. 4 runs, haven't scored since that 5th inning, and really need to kind of remind the Mariners that, you know, we're here to play. So Copperheads, we know they can continue to battle all the way till the end. Stallings sends that one out to the Mariners bullpen.
Solid 15 feet away from a homer.
Had the distance on that, just not quite the direction to put that one over the fence. So 3-2 for Maverick Stallings. This Copperheads team, really 1 through 9 guys can change the course of a game with just a swing of a bat. And we know that, and we've seen that, but sometimes we've seen this offense kind of cool down a little bit and just kind of have to continue to work into this game, trying to break that 6-game losing streak. Payoff pitch outside, and Stallings will march down to first base and draws a leadoff walk.
Yep, that's 3 walks now for Maverick Stallings, rocking that 100% on base percentage. A single, 3 walks, really been a tough out for these pitchers of the Mariners.
Sebastian Silva going to work now against Braden Goulet. Stalling goes and drops the bunt. Not able to get there in time, but the runner does advance. The bunt from Sebastian Silva advances Stallings over to second. And now Carson Shepard will step into the box.
Number 1, Carson Shepard.
Carson Shepard swings at that. Makes it 0-1 to get things started.
Carson Shepard's had a pretty rough day at 0 for 3, but still has a couple of chances to maybe get a hit out there and get on base and advance the runner.
The 0-1. Shepard popped up in the infield. Couple of guys running over to make the play, and Brandon Green and Daniel Montagna both had a pretty clean look at it, but not able to make that play over in foul territory. So Shepard escapes with that one, and he'll have another chance here at 0-2. The 0-2 to Shepard, chopped down the third baseline. And he'll get yet another crack at it here at 0-2. Maverick Stallings on second base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Copperheads hold a 2-run lead. Stallings thought about going and got Shepard looking for strike number 3 on a delayed strike 3 call.
Yeah, the call was definitely a little bit late. Especially the fans are probably used to wanting to get a call a little bit quicker there, but it was what it was. He's been hit looking a couple of times today, and we'll see if the Mariners will go to another pitcher.
It appears they will. Coach Tony Perez coming out to speak with the umpire, so we will see what's going on here. It appears Braden Goulette's day is finished, so we'll take a quick break here. And when we return, we will continue the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 7th inning, new pitcher, the right fielder, Danny Goods, comes in to pitch here with 2 outs. First pitch to Clayton Hodges in there for a strike. Danny Goods, one of the newest additions to this Grand Lake Mariners team. And coming in relief of Braden Goulette. Maverick Stallings on second. Clayton Hodges at the plate, swings and misses on that one as well. So 0-2 for Clayton Hodges. Copperheads holding a 4-2 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Goods looks back, kicks, deals high for ball number 1. As Cedric and I talked about before the break, would be nice for the Copperheads to get another run here, kind of extend that lead just a little bit. Goods sends that, or Hodges rather, sends that one into shallow center field, and Maverick Stallings will come across to score, and the Copperheads get another one. Make it 5-2 here in the bottom of the 7th off the RBI single from Clayton Hodges.
Well, the Copperheads called and Hodges answered as he delivered that great single. And that's the first RBI of the day for the Copperheads. And a good situation where you had a runner on and they were able to score him. That's what the Copperheads needed to do. And they're taking advantage of the new pitcher having his first game pitching as a Mariner.
Gunnar Aldridge now going to work. First pitch from Goods. Right down West Union for a strike.
That is street name number 3 for you, Tim.
Used to be a resident of West Union Street, so shout out to those. That great street. Second pitch, rather, fouled all the way past the bullpen, down the left field line, almost to the field hockey facility right next door to us at Bob Wren Stadium. So 0-2 for Gunnar Aldrich here with 2 outs. Clayton Hodges on first. Goods, kicks, deals. Hodges goes. The throw, not in time. That'll be a stolen base for Clayton Hodges. And gives Gunnar Aldridge a chance to breathe.
Clayton Hodges has done exceptional today as a leadoff. This is his first time being the leadoff hitter for the Copperheads, and he's done very well.
The 1-2 to Aldridge, swing and a miss, and he'll go down on strikes here in the bottom of the 7th. But the Copperheads get another one back here, courtesy of the RBI single from Clayton Hodges. When we return, you're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the 8th inning. Top of the 8th inning presented by Eclipse Company Store. Jake Jordan will take over on the mound for the Copperheads, trying to hold on to a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, they got the 5-2 lead. They started off in the 2nd inning with a Bam Thomas run on a wild pitch. Then in the 4th inning, they scored their 2nd run from Maverick Stallings, who scored on an error. Then in the 5th inning, we saw Kyle Ratliff and Bam Thomas. Kyle Ratliff scored on an error, and Bam Thomas scored on a pass ball. Then in the 7th inning, we just saw Clayton Hodges give an RBI single, which scored Maverick Stallings. So that's how the Copperheads have 5 runs. And on the other side of things, with the Mariners, they got their 2 off of a RBI from Goods, who's the current pitcher of the team. And that ended up scoring Nicoluk, and then Cruson scored on a balk.
Jake Jordan's first pitch to Jacob Daneman in there for a strike. Jake Jordan coming in for Josh Robinson, trying to hold this 5-2 lead. The 0-1 is outside, make it 1-1.
Josh Robinson's stats for the day: he went 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 2 runs, both of them earned.
The 1-1 from Jordan is low and outside, so it'll be 2-1 for Jake Jordan. Jake Jordan, another one of those middle relief guys. Southern Union State Junior College. Actually got a chance to spend an inning with me up here in the broadcast booth the other day. Really great guy. Lots of baseball knowledge. We talked about different techniques and things and what he wants to work on this summer. Swing and a miss there to load the count. Full 3-2 for Jacob Daneman.
Jake Jordan with a 0 ERA and also picked up a win against the Joes earlier this season.
Got him swinging on the high outside ball. So 1 quick out for Jake Jordan. Stepping into the box now for the Mariners, the catcher Brandon Green.
Batting for the Mariners, number 35, Brandon Green.
Things really started to cool off temperature-wise, down to a nice 69 degrees here in Athens. First pitch to Green is low. Ball number 1.
I'd like to announce that the Xenia Scouts have defeated the Hamilton Joes. 7-game win streak is up in smoke.
Big strike there for Jake Jordan. So we've now seen two different streaks come to an end here, as there's a shot just past the outstretched glove of Carson Shepard. That'll be a single for Brandon Green. We've got two streaks coming to an end. We had the Royal Oak Leprechauns, their losing streak coming to an end. The Hamilton Joes, their 7-game win streak come to an end. So who's to say that this losing streak here can't come to an end?
Hope so, Tim. I hope so.
1 on, 1 out. And Silva pump fakes to keep him honest. Daniel Montagna ahead in the count, 1-0. Jordan delivers inside, 2-0.
Montagna hit into a fielder's choice in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th, and grounded out in the 6th.
2-0 pitch to Montagna, fouled back into the net for strike number 1. 2-1 for Montagna, with a runner on first and 1 out. Copperheads holding a 3-run lead. And that's strike number 2 for Jake Jordan. 2-2 as he tries to sit down another Mariners batter. Got him looking. Strike number 3. Jake Jordan gets a backwards K. Daniel Montagna is retired on strikes, so 2 outs with a runner on here in the top of the 8th.
Tim, the Copperheads, as a pitching staff today, have 11 total strikeouts. I'll have to check my book to see if that's their record, but I'm very confident that's the most strikeouts they've had in a game.
I absolutely agree with you, Sedric. I'm willing to say that is the best overall pitching performance I think we've seen from this team all year. 2 runs, one of the lower run totals this team has allowed so far this year as well. So an all-around great defensive effort and pitching staff, everybody kind of coming together, cleaning up those things that we saw. Did have an error today, but has not been detrimental yet. Green goes, the throw, the tag. Got him for out number 3. Sebastian Silva catches his catching counterpart, Brandon Green, trying to steal second base. And he gets him out. So the Mariners leave one stranded here in the top of the 8th. And as we head to the bottom of the 8th, Copperheads will get their chance to extend their lead. We'll see Mason Nadolny, Josh Steidel, and Kyle Ratliff when we return. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th today is presented by Steak and Shake. Mason Nadolny will get things started for the Copperheads here in the bottom of the 8th, holding a 3-0 lead. Takes ball number 1.
Mason Nadolny.
And Goods kicks, deals for strike number 1 to Mason Nadolny.
Mason Nadolny has a pair of strikeouts, a walk, and a single to his name. Copperheads have a chance to shut the door in this inning. What's given them the edge so far today has been having a lower amount of errors and being opportunistic and taking advantage of the other team's mistakes.
Nadolny will send that one down the right field line. On deck, the number 4 hitter, Josh Steidel. Nadolny hitting out of that 3rd spot today. The 1-2 pitch. Catching that outside part of the plate. 2-2. No outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Copperheads hold a 3-run lead over the Grand Lake Mariners. The 2-2 high, and now loads the count again. Something I feel like I'm a broken record here at this point, Sedric, talking about 0-2 pitches turning into full counts.
Yeah, that's good news. That's why they have a position player now in batting. Or
Chopper
in pitching.
Nadolny puts that one in a really good spot. That ball will go over the wall off the throw from Good, so Nadolny will get an extra base there. He'll move up to second on what will likely be scored as a single and then an error. So now another runner in scoring position as Mitch Class will come in to pinch hit. His Concordia St. Paul teammate, Mason Nadolny, out there at second base.
On the season, Mitch Class batting 190 with 1 RBI, and he broke through and got his first hit since June 12th in his last game against the Jazz.
A nice reset game for Mitch Class, who's been dealing with a couple things, a little bit of soreness and fatigue. So no outs here, 1-0 to Mitch Class. Pinch hitting for Josh Steidel out of that designated hitter position. Goods looks back at second, kicks and deals in there for a strike. 1-1 to Mitch Class. The wind up and the pitch. The ball gets past Green. So Nadolny will move up to third base now and is just 90 feet away from putting another run on the board. No outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Copperheads with a 3-run lead. Number 3 coming to Mitch Class, so it's 3-1 count for the designated hitter. 3-1, missed inside. So Class will now advance to third as Kyle Ratliff steps up to the plate with runners on the corners and no outs.
Let's see if the Copperheads can finish off here. Sacrifice fly is in play, so anything deep will score a run, especially if it's over to right field.
As we've said time and time again this week, opportunistic hitting is the key for this team to take the next step forward, and this would be one of those opportunities. Kyle Ratliff sends that one over to short. The flip is 6-4. Not in time to get the second out at first base. So that is a fielder's choice for Kyle Ratliff, but it does score Mason Nadolny from third base. Copperheads will take a 6-2 lead here in the bottom of the 8th with 1 out.
That's the best part about getting into these situations with people on third and people on first when you only have no outs in the inning. So in those situations, any sort of hit into the field of play can ultimately result in a score.
First pitch to Bam Thomas in there for a strike. Kyle Ratliff on first base. The 0-1 from Goods. In there again for a strike, working that outside part of the plate as Kyle Ratliff threatened to steal there. But 0-2 for Bam Thomas. The 0-2, Ratliff goes. No throw from Green, so that's a stolen base for Kyle Ratliff. And Bam Thomas working a 1-2 count now. Goods delivers a pitch that is sent out into foul territory by Bam Thomas. And we'll do it again here at 1-2. Donnie Goods looks back, delivers the pitch, popped up in the infield. Oh, and they drop it. A miscommunication there between Andrew Nicoluk, Carson Clark, and Donnie Goods. And I'm going to assume they'll score that an error, but Bam Thomas able to get to first base.
Yeah, I think the sound effect that was played in the middle of the ball being in the air, I think it got to and broke the concentration of the people trying to make the catch, and also the communication maybe was a little bit off, but there's been a lot of errors today, and the Copperheads have pounced.
Ratliff got a nice jump on that, as that one's fouled back. Maverick Stallings taking a crack at it. Sebastian Silva will wait on deck. As Kyle Ratliff caught in a bit of a pickle here.
Can he get out of it?
And there is. It appears they will. They will call him safe off a couple of missed throws, and Bam Thomas advances up to second base. Ratliff heads up base running and able to take advantage of a couple missed throws and by Adam Ebling and Andrew Nicoluk. Carson Clark also involved in that. And so we'll get back to Maverick Stallings here. 0-1. High. Make it 1-1.
Yeah, Tim, it's just been the Copperheads' day with a lot of these situations where it would be routine catches for a Mariners team that's known for their defense. And you've just seen a lot of just drop balls.
Goods' 1-1 pitch. Low and in the dirt, make it 2-1.
Kind of the old brick for hand situation where it kind of bounces off there. And we saw that at first base a few times. Now we see it at third base.
Just not able to find the back of the glove. The 2-1 pitch in there for a strike.
Also like to compliment Ratliff there, being able to Houdini his way out of that one and get to third.
Trying to get across the home plate for the second time today is Kyle Ratliff. Maverick Stallings awaits the 2-2 pitch. Fouled back almost into the Hocking River. If I had to guess, that ball was a rocket coming off the bat, flying in that direction. So Maverick Stallings will get another chance here at 2-2, 1 out. Sac fly likely scores. Kyle Ratliff, the 2-2. Got him looking for strike number 3. Maverick Stallings goes down on strikes for out number 2. Sebastian Silva will step up to the plate. 2 on and 2 outs.
Have another final score to announce. The Licking County Settlers defeated the Richmond Jazz in an overtime. So 10-inning game, and they used the new overtime rule with the ghost runner, and the Licking County Settlers were able to win a high-scoring affair in Richmond.
Silva awaits the first pitch. In there for a strike, working that outside part of the plate once again.
So the Michigan Monarchs, they've have 18 runs. They're up 18-9 over the Ice Haulers in the 7th inning. That game has been absolutely crazy.
Goods sets his feet, kicks, deals. And misses low for ball number 1, 1-1 to Sebastian Silva. The ball kind of got away from Green a little bit, but he was able to keep that in front of him and prevent Ratliff from coming in to score. 1-1 pitch. Low again on that outside part of the plate, 2-1 for Sebastian Silva. Sebastian Silva, sophomore catcher, Virginia Military Institute from Martins Ferry, Ohio. 2-1 pitch. Just missing that outside part of the plate for ball number 3.
Silva with a walk, a fielder's choice, a strikeout, and a ground out on the day.
The 3-1 pitch from Goods. Again on that outside part of the plate, so Silva will walk the bases loaded with 2 outs here for Carson Shepard. Copperheads get 2 early outs in this inning and then slowly start to load the bases. So a little 2-out rally going on here. 1 run already across the plate here in the bottom of the 8th. Shepard, first pitch inside for ball number 1.
Carson Shepard has a strikeout, a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout on the day. So looking for hit number 1 for number 1.
The 1-0 pitch to Shepard on its way. He will pop that one up into center field. Couple of guys going back, and what an athletic play from Carson Clark, the second baseman coming in. So the Copperheads leave them full, but do get a run back here in the bottom of the 8th. If the Copperheads are able to hold this 6-2 lead, they only will need 3 outs to get things done here in this one. When we return, it will be the top of the 9th. You're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube. Back here in the top of the ninth, Copperheads only need 3 more outs to get things done and close the door on the Grand Lake Mariners. Andrew Nicoluk will go to work first. He will face Luke Borer. Pitch from Borer is sent out into right field. Hodges comes in, makes the play, and that's 1 quick out for the Copperheads.
That's a good job by Hodges.
In the top of the ninth.
Read that, Tim. He read that very well. He knew it was going to be inside and it would be too difficult of a play to be made at second base by Carson Shepard, so he ran with all he had to get to that point. Good hustle.
Elliot Cruson stepping in now. Borer kicks, deals. Swing and a miss for strike number 1. Starting to get this crowd pumped up here in the top of the ninth.
Yeah, Luke Borer has a 0 ERA. He's been one of the best closers for the squad.
Strike number 2 right down Court Street. And Elliot Cruson now down 0-2. Borer kicks, deals. Got him looking, strike number 3. And that's a strikeout for Luke Borer. Copperheads down to their final out to get the win here and break this losing streak.
Borer, he's done this before. In the first game against the Mariners, he had 1 innings pitched, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and allowed no runs, and that allowed the Copperheads to get their walk-off RBI. This time he tries to close the game with the lead.
First pitch from Borer fouled back. It will be Adam Ebling trying to keep things alive here for Grand Lake. Trail 6-2 here in the top of the ninth. Borer looks on, kicks, deals, swing and a miss. That one appears to have went off Silva as he shakes that one off. But a called strike. The athletic trainer will head out to check on Silva. And the umpire having a quick conversation with Luke Borer.
Some games have gone final. Jetbox defeats the Royal Oak Leprechauns 5-4. And Michigan Monarchs, they run rules, they ice haulers. As that game where it was getting crazy amounts of runs, we didn't get to 20. We fell just short at 19 runs. That is the high for the league, though, this year.
It appears that the home plate umpire and Sebastian Silva are okay. The 0-2 pitch from Borer on its way high. And it'll be 1-2 to Adam Ebling. Borer delivers the 1-2 just on that inside part of the plate, make it 2-2. Trying to get Adam Ebling out for the final out of this game, get the Copperheads back into the win column. Borer delivers, fouled down that right field line. And we'll do it again here at 2-2.
Yeah, way to build the suspense up a little bit with a couple of extra pitches there. Still 2 strikes, just 1 more. Or 1 Borer, I should say.
Luke Borer looks on, kicks, deals, fouled back again. And Adam Ebling doing everything he can do to keep his team in this game. Luke Borer winds, kicks, deals. Chopper over to Mason Nadolny at first base. The throw in time to Mitch Class. The Copperheads are back in the win column, breaking that 6-game losing streak. And they get it done here in the top of the ninth. A 6-2 victory for the Copperheads behind solid pitching the entire day. Daniel Walter, Josh Robinson, Jake Jordan, and then Luke Borer to come and close things out here in the bottom of the ninth, or the top of the ninth. We will take a quick break and return with words from a couple of the Copperheads players, head coach TJ Lanning, And, of course, a post-game show from Sedric and I. We're listening to Copperheads Baseball on YouTube.
The Copperheads were victorious today by a score of 6-2, and it was in part due to the starting pitching of Daniel Water. He's here today. And Daniel, just take me into your mind. How was it getting on the mound for the first time this season for the Cheads?
It was good. It was good. I went out there. I tried not to get nervous. Just went out there, threw my stuff, and was confident in the guys behind me.
Awesome, awesome. And did you get a lot of chances to get reps with a lot of people? I know you came in a lot later, so did you get those reps with the catchers and everything like that?
Not really a ton, actually. That was the first time Sebastian had caught me, but he did a great job. We were on the same page for most of the game, so
Good.
Yeah, he did well for me.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a great combination going forward.
Absolutely.
You started off the game. We talked a lot about keeping that strikeout to walk ratio as low as possible. You started off, I believe at one point you were at 3 strikeouts and 3 walks, and then settled in 5 straight strikeouts. Was that something you just kind of got comfortable with as the game went on?
Yeah, I think after playing with those guys for the first few innings, I was able to just be confident in everything around me and just be myself out there and trust everything that was going on.
5 solid innings of work, and then the bullpen came in behind you. Talk about the performance those guys had today.
They did great. Josh came out. He did what he needed to do. Jake came in, looked great, and Luke came in and finished us off. They all looked great, and applauded those guys because I couldn't have done it myself, that's for sure.
Gotcha. Did you count all the strikeouts that you had today?
I think I had 8.
Yep, you're right on the money.
Okay,
you had 8 of them.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but yeah, I felt pretty good.
Nice. That was your first start, and you already got the 3rd highest total or 3rd game high in the GLSCL for strikeouts in a game. So
nice. That's
just getting it started right here, Daniel.
Yes,
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. We
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, congrats on the win.
Thank you. Thank you all.
We'll be actually. We can just. You want to just keep it rolling?
Yeah, we'll just
keep it rolling.
Pass it to Coach.
All right.
Thank you all.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Rob. Come on in, Coach.
Woo! I like that.
They can see this.
Bringing poster in.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Coach finally got it done today.
Yes, sir.
Broke the
Feels
losing
good.
streak.
Yes,
Everything we've kind of been talking about this week has all finally come together. Solid pitching performance, limited those errors, and as Sedric and I said probably 100 times on the broadcast today, opportune hitting.
Yes. I think we did everything that I've been preaching for the past few days. It's pitch strikes, play defense, and get some timely hitting. You know, I think we still could have done a little bit better, but hey, you know what? We snapped the streak, you know, and that's all that matters. So I'm proud of the guys, the way they battled. You know, Daniel came out, first outing of the year with us, summer with us, and absolutely shoved. It was great to see. And then the rest of the pitching staff came behind him and did what they needed to do. So, I mean, I was very happy with it. I don't know what the pitching stat lines looked like, but I guarantee we only had like 4 or 5 walks on 14 Ks or something like that. It was a great night for the pitching staff.
Only had, I believe it was only 2 earned runs tonight, so you were able to
Yes.
take advantage of those mistakes, something we've kind of been on the receiving end of during this streak. Did coming out being aggressive, was that something you guys kind of had planned today?
Oh, 100%. We always want to come out aggressive. You know, we hate playing from behind. You know, it's hard to come back, but, you know, we're gritty, but we're going to find a way. But it felt great to finally lead a ball game for the complete game. You know, I mean, Sedric told me the other day that we've only led for maybe 6-7 innings of the whole summer. You know, it felt good to finally win a whole game and just keep going. So I'm very proud of the guys.
Awesome, and I just want to ask you about what areas have you really seen a lot of growth with your squad, especially throughout these last couple of games. We heard your speech on the bus, and we've seen a lot of improvement, but I want to see where you see improvement as a coach.
No, I think the guys are bonding and coming together a little bit more than what they have been. You know, they went on a long stretch, and it's gonna really bring the guys together if they really want it and how gritty they really are. And they do want this. I truly 100% believe that because we haven't folded yet. You know, we're going out and beating these guys that just 10-run ruled us the last time we played them. So, I mean, this shows the effort that we're going to give for the rest of the summer.
Of course, and I'm excited to see what you guys can do. And I do have the numbers here of your guys' pitching performance. So you guys struck out 12 batters and only walked 5, which is extremely solid, Coach. Some of your best outputs of the year.
That was awesome to see. You know, we just got to keep it going from here on out from everyone. You know, this is what they need to do. Come out and throw strikes and let the defense play, you know, and we're going to win some more ball games, that's for sure. So But yeah, also want to give a shout out to Kevin Morgan who did these posters right here. There's only 100 of them, so they're limited edition. All right, so Kevin Morgan, thanks for this. If you want to buy one of these special limited edition posters, you come to the game, buy them. They're $20. So if you want one of these, they're sick. Come out and buy them.
All righty, Coach, thank you for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Look phenomenal. Might have to pick one of those up.
Of course. I mean, you
these
get
days.
posters, you get Copperhead Crunch Dogs. I mean, a Homer's Hazy IPA. What's not to like about Copperhead's baseball, Tim? And it's great to just be able to go over a little bit. I'll probably take a little break, and we'll go and give you guys a post-game show as you have to see not only players but also coaches come into the game. It is absolutely terrific, and the energy is high here. You can hear the music going. Everybody's singing Sweet Caroline or Celebrate Good Time, because it is good times here. There the Copperheads as they are moving up to 5-8 in the standings. They spent approximately 10 minutes in the last place because the Xenia Scouts upset the Hamilton Joes. So the standings are going to look really interesting, and the Copperheads have a big chance for upward mobility as the Copperheads will face the first place Hamilton Joes tomorrow. And I'm excited to get out there, see our friends Luke and Blake with the Hamilton Joes. They're always great being able to see them and see their staff. But it should be a great match of the Copperheads. Last time they went to Hamilton, won in exciting fashion. They won 7-4, and they did a good job with Sean Peck closing out the game, and a couple of doubles as well from Kyle Ratliff, which lifted them above. But it should be a tough game, Tim. What do you see in that matchup?
Going to be tough indeed, Sedric, a team that really has been on top of the entire league since the last time we were down there in Hamilton. Going to have to continue to do the same things that Coach was talking about today. Pitching staff has got to come out, take care of business. Maybe not as don't always need the hero performance like we saw from Daniel Walter tonight, but have to continue to be consistent on the mound, get 5-6 innings from your starter, strike out as many of those guys as you can, limit the errors on defense, which they did a really good job of today. Only one error today. So, and then the bats still have to come alive a little bit. I know they scored 6 runs today, but have to kind of continue to take advantage of that, get on base, draw those walks, and then ultimately bring those guys across the plate.
Yeah, it'll be essential for the Copperheads to be able to go and finish and get some more RBIs. Their first 3 runs that they scored today weren't on RBIs of runners batting them in. It was off of errors and mistakes by the Mariners, who had a uncharacteristic type of game, Tim. I mean, they committed more errors than I've seen anybody commit the whole season. So I definitely think the next time we face the Mariners, you're not going to see that many errors again, and they'll definitely be determined to try to get the Copperheads back. But that puts the Copperheads at 2-0 against the Mariners at home this season. It puts them back in the win column. They're 5-8. And again, what we saw with the Richmond Jazz, they were able to move up in the standings very quickly, and I think the Copperheads can do too if they can strike gold and get hot here in the GLSCL. But I'm Cedric Granger, and I was joined by Tim Hanna, and we'll be with you guys tomorrow as the Copperheads take on the Joes. Take care.